Thanks, Billy. Have a good show. Time in 2026, the Kentucky Wildcats have taken the field here at Kentucky Proud Park, and they look crisp and clean in those white jerseys and pants. Blue numerals, Kentucky in blue block letters on the front and blue ball caps as Chase Alderman warms up on the mound. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome in. I'm Darren Hedrick alongside the Hall of Famer Keith Madison. For today's broadcast, we are simulcasting both on the UK Sports Network and on the SEC Plus, and we welcome you wherever you are listening and watching this afternoon. Let's meet the starting lineup for the Morehead State Eagles, who are 2-1 entering this matchup. Center fielder Kyle Krupp will lead off, followed by catcher Caden Sheridan. First baseman Alex Keene will hit third, batting cleanup the left fielder Ian McCubbin. Third baseman Aubrey Kearns bats fifth, hitting sixth. Their designated hitter Brayton Coomer. Davis Germán is the right fielder. Shortstop Jaden Carrera and second baseman Nick Griffith round out the batting nine for the Eagles under Chris Rose in his second season at the helm. We'll introduce you to the Kentucky defense after the first pitch, but Krupp is ready to hit. The freshman stands in from the left side. First pitch of the ball game is bunted through on a high foul. It's a fastball at 91 from Alderman, and we are underway right on time at 4:02 Eastern. No balls, one strike on the lefty Krupp, and the pitch fouled back. That's a fastball from Alderman. Now the defense for the Wildcats. Starting in left, you have Scott Campbell Jr., center fielder Chase Tarnish, right fielder Ryan Schwartz. Alderman works ahead 0-2, and he winds and fires, missing up with a fastball. The infield third to first. You've got Tyler Cerny at third base, the shortstop Luke Lawrence, Ethan Hindle his third straight start at second base, and Hudson Brown at first. Swing and a miss goes Krupp, and he's retired on 4 pitches to start the game. So Krupp goes down, and that'll bring up the catcher Caden Sheridan. Catching for the Wildcats tonight is the freshman Owen Jenkins, who's already caught a few games as a rookie Wildcat. Kentucky 3-0. Start this season. A win today would be the 5th 4-0 start in the 10 seasons under Nick Mingione. Caden Sheridan, a right-handed bat. He's a sophomore, and he rocks back a bit as that pitch comes up and in. Sheridan hitting .455 across the first 3 games, 5 for 11. He gets a piece of that off speed and fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coach Madison, great to be back in the booth with you for another season, and a lot of excitement about this Kentucky Wildcat group.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get to see these guys play.
1-1, bends in for a strike. And I know there were a lot of anxious eyes to see Chase Alderman tonight, who's making his return to the mound for the first time in 2 years after a redshirt season and an injury season. Here's the 1-2 from Alderman, and Sheridan takes a tough breaking ball just off that inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alderman came to Kentucky from EKU, Eastern Kentucky. And during his rehab time under the direction of pitching coach Dan Roselle, as that breaking ball got away from Alderman and it runs up and in on Sheridan, plunks him, and he'll be awarded first base. Alderman came in with an electric fastball, and he had a pretty good slider, but under the pitching lab of Coach Roselle, he now owns a 5-pitch arsenal. He's got a fantastic changeup. He's got a good slider. He's got a cutter now with a certain grip. First pitch to Alex Keene, and that is a breaking ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. And he's got a splitter that he mixes in with those other 3 secondary deliveries.
That's outstanding.
1 ball, no strikes on Keene, and he swings and misses on a fastball. Keene, a left-handed hitting junior first baseman.
Darren, you can see why the pro scouts are so interested in Chase Alderman. He's got the size, he's got the velocity, and now with the added pitches, he's going to be valuable.
Here's a grounder to third off the glove of Cerny, deflected into shallow left field. Long run in for Campbell to fetch it, and the Eagles will have first and second. After that bouncer avoided the Kentucky infield, it glanced off of Cerny, the third baseman, and it will bring up Ian McCubbin. So some early action for the Eagles.
Yeah, that ball got on him quick, and looks like he should have backhanded that ball, Darren.
Yeah.
But man, that ball got on him quick. Looked like it had some topspin on it. Tough play.
They have scored that an error on the third baseman, Cerny. It's only the second error on the Wildcats to start the season. So 2 on now, hit batter and a miscue. And McCubbin looks at a breaking ball strike.
And that's the command right there that pitching coach Dan Roselle wants to see. If you can throw your second and third pitches for a strike, you've got a chance, especially with the velocity he has and the competitiveness that he shows.
A look towards second. Alderman works out of the stretch, set at the belt, and his pitch knifes across that outer edge for a strike, and McCubbin quickly down 0-2. McCubbin is the leader in average for the Eagles. He's 5 for 10 with a couple of home runs, and he's driven in 6. And he's got a chance for more. The 0-2 bouncing ball, well deflected by Jenkins back towards the mound. That'll hold the runners at first and second. He saw the pitch was going to be off the mark and able to block it.
Yeah, good footwork there. Really got his body out in front. And like you said, Darren, kept the ball in front of him, which is huge.
They have officially, here's a swing and a miss by McCubbin. He goes down on a beautiful off-speed delivery. And it's the second strikeout for Alderman. And I want to go back to Keene's ball to third. They officially scored that a hit. So there's an error and a hit showing, but in the official stat column, they did score that a hit. If you're following at home on the stat broadcast. Here's Aubrey Kearns, the third baseman sophomore. First pitch bashed off the glove of the first baseman, Brown, and into right field, and the Eagles are going to grab the early lead as Sheridan comes around to score from second, and into third goes Keene. Aubrey Kearns, who had 2 hits against Kentucky last year, smashed the first pitch he saw from Alderman today and smoked it past the first baseman, Brown, for an RBI hit.
Yeah, he jumped all over that first pitch. Hit a missile right by the first baseman.
And here's Brayton Coomer, the designated hitter. Bats right-handed. He's the designated hitter and a freshman. This is a very young Eagles lineup. Coomer is 3 for 6, and he sends a flare over short, and that's caught in shallow left center by Lawrence for the final out. That was a little dying flare over the shortstop normal position in left center, but Lawrence read it well, had a tremendous break, and made a leaping grab to end the inning.
Yeah, nice play by Luke Lawrence.
So the Eagles get a run on 2 hits. They leave 2 stranded. Kentucky will come to bat after this on the UK Sports Network. Jace Tarnish. Right fielder Ryan Schwartz hits third. Hudson Brown, the first baseman, bats cleanup. Tyler Cerny hits fifth. Ethan Hindle sixth. The designated hitter for the Cats today is Braxton Van Cleve. He bats seventh. Hitting eighth is catcher Owen Jenkins, and left fielder Scott Campbell Jr. round out the batting nine for the Cats. The Eagles in the gray jerseys and pants. Blue numerals. So Carter ready to face Lawrence, who stands in from the left side. First pitch, and he offers him a fastball strike. Carter has already made an appearance this year, throwing 2 innings over the weekend against UMass Lowell. No runs on 2 hits surrendered, a strikeout. The 0-1 runs in tight, and the count evens up on Lawrence, who had a grand slam in his opening weekend down in Greensboro. He's batting .286. First home run of the season for the Wildcats. 1-1. That nips the outer edge and puts Lawrence down 1-2.
Right now, Carter Owens has great command of that strike zone, locating his pitches really well.
You know he's fired up to pitch against the Wildcats. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He went off speed, and it was held onto by the catcher Sheridan. Lawrence strikes out to begin the game for Kentucky. That'll bring up the center fielder Jace Tarnish. Carter Owens hails from Lafayette High School here in Lexington.
Been a few good ones come out of Lafayette High School. I think of Jeff Parrott, Austin Kearns. Wow, a lot of really good ball players come out of that school.
And I know there's a lot of Eagles fans in the stands here at KPP this afternoon with Griffith on the back of their shirts, and that's for Nick Griffith, who went to Dunbar High School. Tarnish got a piece of the first fastball, and it's 0-1. Jace batting .308. Transfer from St. Bonaventure. He's a junior. 0-1. Swung on and flared towards the shortstop. Backpedaling. Correa makes the catch. And there's 2 away.
I'm really liking Carter Owens' command here. He's really confident on the mound. He's you would expect him to be, like you said, Darren, really fired up to pitch against the Wildcats, being from Lexington, but he's showing great composure right now.
Here's the right-handed hitting sophomore Ryan Schwartz, off to a .667 start. First pitch, and he absorbs a fastball in the outside half for a strike. Schwartz 6 of 9 in the 3-game series over in North Carolina. 2 RBIs, had a couple of doubles. The 0-1 missed low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Morehead State defensively, McCubbin in left, Krupp in center, Gurman in right field, Kearns at third, Correa at short, Griffith at second, Keene at first, and Sheridan catching for Owens as Schwartz gets under this one, a routine fly to right. Gurman coming forward, he'll make the catch medium depth, and the Cats are retired 1-2-3 to start this one. Morehead State's got a 1-0 lead as we go to the second inning at Kentucky Proud Park. You're on the UK Sports Network. 0-1. Fouled into the screen, 0-2. You see that, though, from a lot of the mid-major programs going on the road a ton early in the season. Some of that is to play the bigger names and get a little money, but also some of it, too, as a pitch just misses inside. Some of that's weather-related for the schools up north.
That's right. Yeah, it's you know, it helps the mid-majors if they can get some guarantee money from
1-2's a soft dribbler, left side of the infield. Cerny charges. Third baseman throws low. Brown dug it out, and they just snipped Gurman charging up the line. One away.
Nice read right there by Cerny. Reading it off the bat, got a good jump on. Yeah, you know, the mid-majors, they need that guaranteed money. Helps their programs. It helps their budgets. And of course, schools like Tennessee, Georgia, schools like that further south, they can play their first 16 or whatever at home.
Jaden Correa, the batter, he swings first pitch and sends one high in the air, but he pulled that one foul down the left field line.
He got all of that one, didn't he?
He certainly did. Just a freshman.
Something tells me he was looking for that pitch, first pitch, just like Aubrey Kearns was last inning.
Here's a soft bunt up the third base line. That's going to stay fair, and that's going to be an infield single for the speedy Correa. And I misspoke. I said freshman. Correa's a junior out of Chicago. In fact, similar path to Ryan Ritter of Kentucky from the Chicago area. Went to John A. Logan Community College there in Illinois, just like Ritter, and now he's at Morehead State. And Ritter's playing for the Rockies.
That's big, isn't it? That's exciting. What a smart move there. He hits the ball 380 feet out of the ballpark foul. And then he drops one down the third baseline for a base hit.
Fourth hit of the season for Correa. Nick Griffith will bat left-handed. Second baseman, first pitch, outside. Well, if you're Morehead State, and we heard Coach Mingione on his pregame tell us in the scouting report on the Eagles that they play a very similar style of offense to Kentucky, and you've got a brand new battery right now. Jenkins, a freshman behind the dish, and you've got a pitcher in Alderman who's coming back from being sidelined for 2 years. If you can get men on base, if you're Morehead State, the game plan is to apply the pressure.
No doubt.
Throw to first, and that chases Correa back.
That was a beautiful bunt. It really dropped it down there in a perfect spot on the green.
1-0, and off speed stays up. Now, Nick Griffith, he's the one I mentioned who played for Dunbar, and he is a freshman on this Eagles team. He's got a lot of fans in the stands. 2 balls, no strikes. Alderman delivers from the stretch and offers high, ball 3. Really nice crowd here at Kentucky Proud Park for a mid-February, late February matchup. Early home game for the Wildcats. A lot of excitement about this year's team. 3-0. And he comes down the heart with a fastball for a strike.
Well, Darren, when you schedule these games in February, you never know what you're going to get. The Cats really lucked out with, I think the temperature was 62 degrees at the start of the game. So that's really good for Kentucky in February.
Yeah, it was nice and warm down on the field during batting practice this afternoon. And there is a breeze blowing out to left. Some overhead cloud cover. 3-1. Popped up, skied shallow center. The wind's going to shift this one towards left center, and that's where Campbell makes the catch in front of his center fielder, Tarnish. And there are 2 away here in the second inning. It's 1-0 Morehead State. It'll be interesting to see how the wind plays during this game, we can see how temperamental Kentucky Proud Park is in the springtime with that breeze. Sometimes it carries a lot more than you would think. Sometimes you see the flag straight out and the carry's not that great because the wind's actually blowing into the ballpark. Here's Kyle Krupp, top of the order. Runner goes. The pitch swung on and fouled into the screen.
Yeah, you're right about that, Darren. I mean, there are times when it looks almost impossible to hit one out of here. And then on a day like this, though, you hit one out there in that jet stream in left field, and it's going to travel.
It is 63 degrees currently with that cloudy sky overhead. The 0-1 swung on and missed. He chased a high fastball. Krupp struck out swinging his first time up, and he's down 0-2 to Alderman here in the rematch.
Alderman's gotten some swings and misses on that high heater today.
He's set at the belt, first base side of the rubber. With a man at first, he's 0-2, misses high, runner goes. Late throw by Jenkins down to Lawrence. He came off the bag, but they didn't get the tag in time, said the second base umpire. Scott Kennedy ruled him safe, and Nick Mingione steps out. We might have our first challenge of the day. Let's see. Yep, we've got our first replay challenge initiated by the Kentucky dugout.
Well, Owens made a strong throw to second base.
He did. That was a cannon.
Yes, it was.
Because the throw was late. But, I mean, it was late released,
yeah,
but it was a cannon.
Exactly. For some reason, he got rid of it late, but, man, when he released it, it looked good.
I mean, he almost had Lawrence there with it. And Kentucky acted, the infielders acted like Correa came off the bag. I thought he beat the tag. But then the reaction of Lawrence and Hindle made me think maybe he came off the bag. And these Kentucky infielders are taught, just like most infielders, you probably taught this too, always keep that glove on them until you hear time.
No doubt. Yeah, you got to don't get that tag off too quickly. Leave it there.
They're showing the first view to the fans on the giant video screen in right center, and if that right hand's on the bag, he's safe, but he was tagged on the chest. And it would appear from the initial frames we're seeing I think he's safe.
I think he is too, Darren.
It's the right hand to the back side of the second base bag. And he was tagged, what would you say, towards the front left part of his chest?
Yes.
Yeah, right under his arm.
Yep. One thing I could say is Wildcat fans are going to have fun watching Owen Jenkins behind the plate because he does have a cannon back there. He's a good-looking catcher. I could see why his high school coach Scott Downs and so many scouts were so high on him.
Safe is the ruling, so Kentucky loses the challenge, and they have one left according to Scott Kennedy, our second base umpire. So he got the call right, and once we saw the replay confirm it, the right hand was on the base. So it's a runner at second with 2 down and a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Kyle Krupp. A look towards second in the pitch by Alderman. Got him swinging on a high fastball anyway.
That's been a key pitch for him in the first 2 innings.
So that's 3 strikeouts for Chase Alderman, and we go to the bottom of the second inning here at Kentucky Proud Park. It's 1-0 Morehead State on the UK Sports Network. average for Brown through 3 games, 4 hits and 11 at-bats. Got a double and 2 RBIs in that opening weekend. Hudson, 6'6", 230-pound sophomore out of Olive Branch, Mississippi. Left-handed batter. Owens rocks and fires, and he just missed away. Ball 1.
Well, this won't be the last time you hear me say this, Darren. This boy could go bear hunting with a switch. He is a big kid.
The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Went after the off speed.
And when he squares it up, it jumps off that bat.
He's got the eye black running down the cheeks of his face. 1-1. And that's a letter high strike. 1-2. Ben Levin is on balls and strikes today, by the way. The rest of our umpiring crew, Micah Holman at third. You've heard from Scott Kennedy at second, Brian DeBrouwer at first. 1-2's just outside. The catcher, Sheridan, tried to bring it back over the plate with a nice frame, but Mr. Levin wasn't fooled. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, something we don't think about very often, but the umpires, they're excited to be on the field just like we're excited to be in the booth, and the players are excited to play.
2-2's again off the outside corner. A fastball from Owens that time. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Boy, he's really trying to nibble on that edge, that the black of the plate, but he just can't get it where he wants it to be. And Brown has not bid at it. Wonder if they come back with something in. The 3-2 is lifted foul out of play to the third base side.
He's really trying to keep it away from him because he knows if he gets it out over the middle of the plate, Hudson Brown can put a hurt on it.
Payoff pitch. Lined into left field, base hit. He poked that one between Correa and Kearns. Leadoff single with a long turnaround first for Hudson Brown. First hit of the game for the Wildcats as they trail 1-0 in the second. Coach,
I was going to say, you got to really like that about Hudson Brown, because he was pitching him away every pitch, and instead of rolling over that outside pitch like a lot of pull-happy hitters do, he just went with it, hit a line drive to left field, got himself a base hit.
Here's Tyler Cerny, right-handed batter. Senior hitting .300, 3 for 10. Out of the stretch, Owens delivers a sweeper that ran well outside, and a nice snare by Sheridan to keep it from going to the backstop. Breaking ball just got away from him.
Yes, it did.
He toes the first base side of the rubber. Hands together, 1-0. And now he runs inside on Cerny. 2 balls and no strikes. Going back to Brown's at bat, Coach, I feel like outside of college baseball, being able to go the other way is becoming a lost art.
I'm afraid you're right.
But Kentucky is a team that has done it well. 2-0. Grounded left side. That'll squeeze through for a base hit. Brown goes to second and holds there, and the Cats have 2 on with nobody out for Ethan Hindle.
Owens has been locating his pitches really well, but that time he left that out over the plate, and it hurt him.
But thinking back in recent years when Kentucky's been at their strongest under Coach Mingione, they've been to 3 straight regionals, been to Omaha. Those offenses played to all fields. They hit to all fields. How many times did we see Petrie go backside when he was a hitter here?
Yeah, that's so important in a big ballpark like this.
Corner infielders play in against Hindle, who can lay down bunts. 2 on and nobody out, and the pitch from Owens. Hindle swinging away, fouls that one off of the catcher Sheridan to the backstop. 0-1. Hindle had himself a fantastic weekend down in Greensboro, Coach. He was 5 for 9 at the plate. 3 doubles, 1 triple. He drove in 5, stole 5 bases, and scored 7 runs.
Wow, that is a big weekend.
Correa faked like he was going to backpick on Brown. The pitch home is a breaking ball outside.
You know, we're talking about hitters going the other way. It makes them so much tougher to pitch to. If you can give in a little bit and go the other way, now the pitcher's thinking, gosh, where do I pitch him?
1-1. Hindle takes, and that looked like an off-speed delivery that bent too soon. 2 balls and 1 strike.
The crowd's getting into it a little bit now as the Wildcats are threatening.
The Kentucky dugout full of energy. They are all upstanding along the railing. 2 on, nobody out for the Cats in the second inning. The 2-1 to Hindle, and that bounces through the legs as Sheridan glances off and rolls towards the right side near that first base dugout. And the runners advance. Brown to third, Cerny into second. It looked like that ball went between the legs of Sheridan and then glanced off his right shin protector and shot towards the dugout entrance of the first base side.
Yeah, he made an outstanding play just a few pitches earlier on a similar pitch, but he couldn't get his glove down on that one.
So score that a wild pitch, and Sheridan will go out to visit with Owens. As comfortable as he looked from the windup in the first inning when he retired the Cats 1-2-3, coach, out of the stretch here in the second inning, hasn't been as sharp.
That's right. And, you know, I think you said earlier that he only pitched 2 innings. And so it takes a while for a pitcher to get into the rhythm.
3-1, misses tall on Hindle, and that's ball 4 to load the bases.
And I've always contended that pitchers don't throw enough out of the stretch in the bullpen. You know, when they work on their bullpens, or
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, and they just you know, coaches have to remind them constantly, hey, let's work out of the stretch. You know, make sure, because not many of these guys have thrown perfect games. There's always going to be base runners.
Well, here's a young man I'm excited to see hit. He's a left-handed bat, Braxton Van Cleve, designated hitter for the Wildcats. He's a freshman. This will be his 3rd game played with Kentucky, first start in the lineup, and he comes out first pitch swinging and bounces a foul ball off the mask of the catcher Sheridan. It's 0-1. Nobody out, bases full of Cats here in the second inning. Morehead State with a 1-0 lead. And the Go Big Blue chants erupt. Van Cleve out of Arlington, Texas, checked his swing on a low pitch. They'll check down to third. He didn't swing. 1-1.
I remember meeting this young man when they were recruiting him. I just happened to be in the office. He's a good-looking young player.
6'3", 220. It'll be a 1-1. In the air and driven well to deep center. Racing back goes Krupp. It'll be to his right, over his head, and bouncing against the wall. Brown scores. Cerny scores. Here comes Hindle all the way from first. He crosses standing. It's a 3-run double for Braxton Van Cleve, and the Cats are in front 3-1.
Well, I know that Nick Mingione and Austin Kuzno, the whole staff, liked what they saw right there out of the freshman hitter Braxton Van Cleve.
That'll bring up Owen Jenkins, another freshman with a ton of power and potential. And here comes a visit to the mound for the Eagles. Their head coach is Chris Rose, associate head coach Tyler Jackson, and they're also joined by Alex Lozado, Dalton Stambaugh, and as we talked with Coach Mingione on the pregame show, Ty Crittenberger is on the staff now, former Wildcat, and part of that team that made the run to Omaha. And Crittenberger, coach, if you'll remember, everybody remembers Mitchell Daly's walk-off home run. The only reason they were in position to get that walk-off winner is because of the catch in left center made by Crittenberger in the half inning before.
And that was some catch.
Yeah. So it was great to see Ty back in town this afternoon. Kentucky still with nobody out, and Jenkins to the plate. Start at Lexington Catholic High School. And the first pitch bounced foul.
Darren, you look at these freshmen like Jenkins and Van Cleve and their size and their strength for young men that age. It makes you think the future looks pretty bright for the Wildcats.
Jenkins 6'2", 220. He swings and mashes one towards right center. Krupp and Gurman are there. Van Cleve's going to tag up, try to go to second, and he will beat the throw from the Morehead State outfield. So Jenkins flies out into medium right center, but Van Cleve, aggressive on the bases, tags and goes from second to third. And it looked like Jenkins just got under that one.
Yes, he did. Just missed it.
Here's Scott Campbell Jr. Got to see this young man last year playing in a different uniform, as he was with USC Upstate in that Clemson regional. But he was impressive and obviously impressed the Kentucky coaching staff, because here he is now in the blue and white. First pitch to the right-handed batter, and a breaking ball misses outside. He's a senior that's 3 for 9 to begin his Wildcat career. One out, man at third. Kentucky up 3-1 in the second inning. Owens from the first base side out of the stretch, rocks and fires, and Campbell takes a tight strike on that inside half. Looked like a fastball running under the arms.
Yeah, good movement on that pitch.
Campbell hunting his 6th RBI of the season. And he sends a foul ball out of play to the right, 1-2.
It's always a good feeling for a coach and the team, you know, when you get down 1-0 and you come right back and answer back and score.
1-2. Skied in the air, right side of the infield. First baseman Keene called off by Griffith, and he makes a staggered catch as the wind played with that one on its way down. But Campbell pops out to the second baseman, and that leaves Van Cleve at third with 2 out for Luke Lawrence. You know, sometimes, and you see it from all the guys in modern baseball, these one-handed catches, but on a windy day like this at Kentucky Proud Park, there's times where I wish they'd use both hands to secure that one.
I know the feeling.
But I know that's not really the thing anymore. Third baseman Kearns plays in against Lawrence, and a fastball misses up from Owens. Well, with the third baseman playing off the line and in against Lawrence, that really allows Van Cleve to get a huge lead towards home. And he is right in the eyesight of the right-hander Owens. 1-0, swung on and fouled into the net. Ball and a strike.
It's good to hear the crowd.
Yeah.
Good to be at the ballpark, Darren.
It's nice just to be outside today.
Yes.
But I know a lot of the Kentucky fans will be heading back indoors later this evening. Got a big basketball game over at Rupp Arena later tonight as a pitch goes up and in on Lawrence. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's a 9 o'clock tip-off tonight for the Cats and the Georgia Bulldogs.
I think that's the last 9 o'clock regular season game the basketball team has this year.
You going to stay up for it?
Oh, yeah.
2-1. Outside, 3 balls and a strike now on Lawrence. Now, the pregame coverage on the UK Sports Network for that game will begin at 7:30. The Don Franklinato countdown to tip-off. 3-1. Runs tight on Lawrence. That's ball 4, and he'll jog down to first base.
Got a feeling it's going to be a long day for our buddy Billy.
Billy Rutledge?
Yes, sir. Listened to him this morning on
the pre-show.
And then he's with us now, and then he's going to be doing probably having duties at the basketball game tonight. But he's young.
Hey, he's a good sport.
He's young and on his first legs. He can do it.
Jace Tarnish stands in now from the right side. He's got men at the corners. Van Cleve, the lead runner. Tarnish lined out to the shortstop his first time up. First offering, and that's high for a ball. Coach Mingione has gushed about Jace Tarnish in the weeks leading up to the season. Loves his speed, but, Coach, his bat plays so well, too.
Yeah.
And now the runner, Lawrence, breaks. Late throw down to the second baseman, and he gets taken out by the slide from Lawrence, but held onto the baseball, and somehow the Eagles catch the Wildcats to end the inning. Lawrence broke towards second, and the pitcher did not come home. Instead, Owens kept his wits about him and made the play down at second base, with Griffith applying the tag and absorbing the blow. Kentucky scores 3 runs, a big 3-run double by Braxton Van Cleve, and we go to the top of the third at Kentucky Proud Park. Cats on top of the Eagles, 3-1. This is the UK Sports Network.
They absolutely owned the base paths last weekend down at UNC Greensboro.
First pitch all the way from Alderman to Sheridan, and that drops in for a strike, 0-1.
They stole more bases last weekend than some teams will the whole season.
Hindle had 5. Tarnish had 5, the 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. But what did you see on that play? How were the Eagles able to make it at second base?
Well, I think, first of all, I think they knew that Kentucky they had some action going. And I think them being able to read that was huge. And
0-2 misses up.
And you know, I didn't get to see the games in Greensboro, but it sounded like the type of pressure that Kentucky put on UNC Greensboro, it caught them completely off guard.
1-2, just missed the corner with a nice breaking ball. Been outside, 2-2.
And since Morehead plays a similar style, I think that gave them the ability to read that more quickly.
I think Kentucky, here's the 2-2, and Sheridan takes high, full count. Kentucky might be one of the most dangerous offenses when they have runners at the corners, because they have so many different plays that they can run, so many different options, not just for the hitter. 3-2, and he walked him.
Yeah, and you know, occasionally you're going to see a play like we saw, and they're going to get thrown out, but there's so many benefits to putting pressure on the defense like that, because first of all, the pitcher's always has to be thinking about that. The catcher always has to be thinking about that. The infielders always have to be thinking about that. It's just another distraction. Besides getting an extra base, most of the time, you're putting pressure on them mentally.
Alex Keene had a hit his first time up. First pitch he did not offer. Had a breaking ball down, and it's 1-0. But I was just thinking about when they have first and third, they can do a delay steal where you have to watch the runner at third, and usually it results in the man at first getting to second, the 1-0, down, because a lot of times defenses will just concede second to Kentucky because of the other action on the backside. And now we got a meeting on the mound as Alderman has lost the zone with 5 straight pitches out of the strike zone. So, but the other play, I love to see them run, and they only do it because if you do it all the time, it never works. But if you do it you pick your spots carefully here and there, you'll see the first base runner take off and then act like he tripped and fell. And that freezes the defense, and they think, we got him, and all of a sudden the guy at third is taken off, and it's too late. He scores.
Yeah, we'll see that before the year's over. It's beautiful when it works.
Yeah. 2-0 to Keene, and it's lifted into shallow left. That's going to splash down in front of Campbell, and then he overplayed it. It's going to go all the way to the wall, and that's going to be a run for the Eagles. Sheridan comes around to score, and it's 3-2 on a miscue in left field.
Yeah, man, that ball had that backspin on it,
tough
that
English.
And when it hit the turf, it just bounced right over his head.
Like he overran it, and it just squirted right by him, and there was nothing. There was not a safety net behind him, and the Eagles cash in to make it a one-run game. Leadoff walks always seem to come around to score. And here's Dan Roselle with a quick visit out of the dugout, the veteran pitching coach for the Wildcats, who has been the architect of this incredible pitching staff that Kentucky has had. You think back to when Darren Williams was on the mound, Tyler Guilfoyle, and then since then, think about the job he did finding the staff helped, but they found Trey Poozer. And then once they got him here, the job that Coach Roselle and the pitching staff did to get that young man to where he was the dominant Friday night starter in the SEC for Kentucky.
Yeah, I've never seen a pitching coach who is more demanding in a positive way, but demanding on his pitching staff to work on their mechanics, to develop pitches, and to give them the confidence that they can throw those off-speed pitches anytime. Dan Roselle, in my opinion, does a great job with that.
And then the job he did with the staff last year to help get this team to the Clemson Regional. Ian McCubbin swings and fouls the pitch into Jenkins' glove, and it's 0-1. And then the first game right out of the gates this year, they set the record for strikeouts in a single game with 20. The 0-1. And McCubbin watches a fastball off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, when you've got those really good arms to work with, and then you develop those secondary pitches, that's where the strikeouts come, because you can't just sit on a fastball.
That's right. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. I heard Jeff Picoro talk about this Monday night on Dick Gabriel's radio show, and I've actually heard other players echo this and coaches. In this modern era of baseball, everybody's got that pitcher that can throw 98, 99. It's what you do with the secondary stuff that matters. And then talking to Ethan Hindle today, the 1-2 got him swinging. McCubbin's down on strikes, and there's 1 out in the 3rd inning. Tying runs at second for the Eagles here. It's 3-2 Kentucky. Talking to Ethan Hindle, he's like, man, you should have seen the video spray chart for Jackson Jelkin last Friday. He said it was here, and his hand was just motioning in all different directions. And he said it was impressive to watch.
No doubt.
What Jackson was doing on the mound. Here's the offering to Kearns, and he offers at a breaking ball and comes up empty.
Well, this time Kearns, first at bat, he was set on that fastball, and he stroked it, lined it hard into right field. That time, smartly, Alderman changed speeds on him.
0-1, misses in the turf, and a nice block by Jenkins.
This is a young man I've known for a long time, Aubrey Kearns. He is a hard-working young man, loves the game, good player.
And for Kentucky and Cincinnati fans, that last name's familiar. The 1-1's lifted high. That one's scalded to deep right. Schwartz to the wall, but Morehead State has taken the lead on a massive shot to right by Aubrey Kearns. It is 4-3 Morehead State.
Well, you look at him and you don't think there'd be a lot of power there, because he's not big like his father, but he's got some bat speed, and he's a good hitter.
That's a 3 RBI game already for Kearns, and we're only in the 3rd inning.
And Darren, that was against the wind.
Yeah.
Big home run by Aubrey Kearns.
This inning started with a walk and has spiraled a bit, and Alderman now has got to rally back here as the Eagles have taken advantage of a walk, a single, an error on the left fielder Campbell, And then Kearns got what he was looking for and crushed it. Braxton Coomer, the next batter, he lined out to short on a great grab by Lawrence. And he watches an off-speed pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. There is activity in the Kentucky bullpen as a right-hander warms. And Alderman misses again. That one looked like it was a bit outside and perhaps up. The 2-0. Got underneath this one. Fly ball down the left side. It tails into foul ground, third base side. And it will be Cerny to make the catch. He was camped under it along the warning track down the left field line. And there's 2 away.
Yeah, and I like the way Luke Lawrence made a great effort being there in case sometimes that ball will get behind that third baseman. And that's a tough play for a third baseman and actually an easier play for the shortstop.
Here's Davis Gurman, who grounded out to third his first time up. First pitch, called a strike. So going back to last year's meeting here in Lexington that Kentucky won 8-2, Aubrey Kearns has 4 hits in this ballpark against the Cats. Here's another pop-up. Left field, out goes the shortstop Lawrence, backpedaling. Now he camps under it with 2 hands and makes the catch. And there's a nice rally by Alderman after the 2-run blast by Kearns. He comes back to retire Kuman and Gurman on a couple of pop-ups. We go to the bottom of the third. The Eagles are back in front of the Cats. It's 4-3, Morehead State on the UK Sports Network. In the bottom of the second when Lawrence was caught stealing to end the frame. Cats just scored 3 to take the lead at 3-1, and Morehead State responded immediately with a 3 spot in the top half of this inning. Tarnish shows bunt, and then he peels back to take a ball that was up.
I was just noticing that Aubrey Kearns is really playing shallow against Tarnish.
1-0, fastball up and out.
When the pitch is delivered, he's well on the grass, or turf, I should say.
Yeah. A lot of college teams are switching to turf. The 2-0 as he shows bunt. That one runs in tight. 3 balls, no strikes.
A lot of high school teams are too, and it makes so much sense because you can get so much more practice in with the sports turf. You don't have to worry about, putting the drying agent down to dry the field and all that. It's a lot of work.
There's been so many advancements. And now Tarnish gets hit in the back by a pitch that ran in. He was showing bunt and had to protect himself, so the Cats have a leadoff base runner.
So you got that speed on the base paths now.
That's right. He's the tying run. And here is Ryan Schwartz, who flied to right his first time up.
Ryan came into the game hitting a robust 667.
Yeah, he'd take that.
Yeah.
He squares to bunt and then watches a strike that was fouled into the mid of Sheridan. I heard a debate one time about the use of the term foul tip. And apparently there's some people that say it's only a foul tip by rule when it's strike 3. The rest of the time it's just a foul ball. Here's the 0-1. And that breaking ball just tickled the outside edge for a strike.
Some hitters would say it's a line drive into the catcher's mitt, right?
That's right. I just think those people are curmudgeons. Here's a pop-up out of play to the left.
And the crowd's even better now than it was earlier.
Yeah,
I guess people getting off from work and dropping by the old ballpark to watch a little baseball.
Morehead State leads Kentucky 4-3. Last of the third inning, Cats with a man on and nobody out. It's 0-2 to Schwartz. Owens delivers, and here's a number off the handle. A pop-up to the left side where the pitcher comes off the hill to make the catch towards the line. And Schwartz pops out.
Well, Carter Owens got that pitch right in on his hands.
Here comes the head coach now for the Eagles, Chris Rose. And we may have, yes, this is an early pitching change. And so the Eagles are the first team to the bullpen as they lead Kentucky 4-3 here in the last of the third. We'll step aside for the Eagles pitching change with 1 on and 1 out for the Cats. Hudson Brown due up on the UK Sports Network. Yes, sir.
Oh, you watching Romeo and Juliet or something?
Days of Thunder. Here's Hudson Brown to face Davis. A throw over, and diving back goes Tarnish. But the person that you're asking about, just for our listeners, was Uncle Rico.
Yeah, Uncle
according
Rico.
to Billy.
Yeah, Uncle Rico. What a stud.
Appreciate Billy with the assist there. First offering to Hudson Brown is driven high in the air, deep down the right field line. That is are they saying it's a foul ball? Yes, they are saying it is a foul ball in the right field corner as Gurman went to make a sliding grab. The Wildcats are arguing it was fair, and they're asking for a review already.
Yeah, as Hudson Brown was approaching second base, he was given the fair sign, but of course he's the guy that hit the ball.
Now remember, Gurman made a sliding attempt, and the ball actually hit his glove, so this is going to be an interesting call here. And right now the first base umpire, who we have is Brian DeBrouwer. And
that's close. I can't really see the ball.
It's going to be a tough angle because we probably don't have one that's right down the line.
That might be a fair ball.
If he touches it while he's in fair, well, if he touches the ball while he's in fair territory and it kicks foul, it's a fair ball.
Yeah. Hudson Brown's a believer.
Yeah. This is a huge call for Kentucky because right now it would be second and third with one out if this is overturned. Otherwise, it's going to put Tarnish back at first, Brown at the plate, and would be a strike. And they are trying to look at as many angles as we have available to us.
You know, when that ball first came off the bat, it looked like it was going to be a home run, but he really didn't get all of that.
No.
He got it just a little bit on the handle, I think, but he is so strong that he was able to push that ball almost to the fence.
I'm like you, it was well struck, but it was not quite on the sweet spot.
Right.
And it stays a foul ball. Kentucky has now lost both challenges, which means Kentucky is out of challenges the rest of the way. Tough break for the Cats there as that one is ruled foul, and on video replay, it stays foul.
How would Lou Piniella and Earl Weaver handle the replay instead of going out and fighting for their
Not well. So it's 0-1 on Brown. Runner goes, swing and a smash into right, base hit. A ground ball. Tarnish is up around second. He'll go into third, and Brown gets on base anyway.
He will not be denied.
He scalded that on the ground.
He did.
That's what we call a worm burner.
Yeah, man. Darren, you and I have talked a lot off the air about his potential as a hitter. And as a freshman last year, he started really showing that potential at the end of the season.
Well, Coach, here's the scenario where we said Kentucky could be the most dangerous offense in the SEC. First and third. Now they have one out for Tyler Cerny, but the playbook is still wide open.
No doubt.
Infield at double play depth for the Eagles in a one-run game, bottom of the third. Cerny squares the bunt that comes up and in, and it's a bunt fair towards first. And now they're calling Tarnish crossed, and I think he scores. They're going to count the run, but Cerny's ruled out on the run up the first base line is what was that was the signal.
I don't know how he got that ball in fair
I don't either.
territory.
I thought it hit him in the face.
It was a scary play. That ball was running right up and in.
Here's for those watching on SEC Plus, there's the high home, and somehow that hit the bat and not Cerny. All right, Ethan Hindle up now with the go-ahead run. Brown at second base and 2 out. And the pitch, Hindle looks at an off-speed strike. So Kentucky has tied the game at 4 on the bunt by Cerny. Got the job done with the RBI. What a wild inning this one's been. Breaking ball outside, and it's 1-1.
A little bit of everything in this inning.
It's a sacrifice bunt for Cerny, and he is recorded out unassisted to the first baseman. Inning started with a hit by pitch. 1-1. And a fastball runs in. Hindle walked and scored his first time up in the second inning. Now they'll try the old back pick play to Brown at second, but he dives back ahead of the tag from Griffith. Tried to sneak in there behind him. Two-one. Down and in on Hindle.
And Carter Owens just doesn't quite have the command he had early in the game, Darren. He's those pitches that he was just painting the black early in the game, he's missing by several inches now, in and out.
3-1 to Hindle. Hitters count. The pitch. And he sneaks a fastball by. 3-2. We're in the last of the third inning. 4-4 game between the Cats and the Eagles. Davis, the first one out of the bullpen for Morehead. Payoff pitch. Up and away. Ball four. Hindle walks again. So now there's first and second with two out, and here's Braxton Van Cleve, who had that three-run double his first time up. Sun trying to peek through the clouds. Coach, I've noticed that we're getting a little more daylight each day.
I love it.
We had daylight till almost 6:30 here in Lexington last night. First pitch to Van Cleve, fouled off to the left.
Actually saw some crocuses and daffodils trying to pop out of the ground at my house.
A look towards second by Davis, and now he deals, and that pitch fouled straight back into the screen. 0-2.
I also thought about getting my rod and reel out and going down to the pond and fishing a little bit.
Have you started mowing yet?
Not yet. I'm just getting my tractor back since service.
Ready to go for the season.
Ready to go, man.
It'll be here before we know it. 2 on, 2 out. It's 0-2 on Van Cleve, and the pitch in the turf. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kentucky will be on the road again this weekend, heading down to up and over to Evansville, Indiana. They'll take on the Purple Aces in a 3-game series this weekend. 1-2. Grounded right side. That'll be found by Griffith, the second baseman, ranging to his glove side left. And he throws out Van Cleve to end the inning. Well, Kentucky found a way to tie it up. It was an adventure to get there, but Jace Tarnish gets on base and comes around to score on the bunt by Cerny. We go to the fourth at Kentucky Proud Park. Eagles 4, Cats 4 on the UK Sports Network. appreciate that. It's been a lot of fun this year with Coach Brooks' team. Jaden Correa leading off the fourth inning, sends one high in the air to deep left, and that one is into the bullpen. A leadoff home run for Correa, and it's 5-4 Eagles. They have found the jet stream today. Just a line drive, but certainly got it. So Alderman's got to rally back here. I've been impressed, even though he's given up 5 runs in this start today. Alderman's been able to bounce back. We'll see if he does that here with Nick Griffith as an offering misses high. We're talking about a young man who's on the mound for the first time in 2 years. You know he wants to perform well, and 1-0's fouled into the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. One offering. That one's hit well. Center field, the wind catches a hold of it, but Tarnish has enough speed to run it down about as far as he could go in deep right center. That's another one of those like for those that are here at the ballpark and for us watching, you can almost see the wind just pick that up and lift it when it's in flight. Yeah. Krupp takes outside. Been impressed by Morehead State's ability to punch back in this game. 1-0, down and in. Kentucky dealt a body blow with 3 runs in the second inning. Eagles came right back with 3 in the top of the third. Cats tied it immediately in the bottom of the third, and now Morehead State right back with a leadoff home run to retake the advantage. "2-0 nips the outer edge. Bases empty with 1 out, the 2-1 on the inside half, and that'll brush Krupp back, who is trying to make some adjustments against Alderman. This is the 3rd time he's faced him, and Krupp has struck out twice. It'll be a 2-2. Beautiful fastball, but a bit low. Perhaps 3 balls and 2 strikes. Niall Adcock has been getting loose in the Wildcats bullpen. Payoff pitch. Skied out of play. Yep. Here's the 3-2 part 2, and he walked him, missing well up the ladder. He's up to 66 pitches. We're in the top of the 4th. 1 out, 1 on. Eagles with a 5-4 lead. And here is Sheridan, who has walked and been bruised. He has scored both times he's been on base. Throw to first, and Krupp dives back. Another pickoff throw, and again, Krupp dives back successfully. Pitch home, and Sheridan with a big cut. Stadium lights are on here at Kentucky Proud Park as The sun begins to settle off to the first base side, and another sweeping breaking ball, and Sheridan chases 0-2. One on and one out. The 0-2 swung on and lifted to left. On comes Campbell, and he laid out for it. Did he trap it or not? No, he didn't. What a fantastic catch by Campbell, laying out in left field. Scooped that one right before it touched turf. Fantastic play by Campbell, and that's going to be it for Alderman. Nick Mingione makes his way out of the dugout, makes the gesture for the right-hander in that Kentucky bullpen. Alderman departs after allowing 5 runs on 6 hits. Kentucky only down 1 here in the top of the 4th inning. They'll turn to their bullpen to try to get the batters back up in the home half of this 4th. We'll step aside for the pitching change here on the UK Sports Network. Yeah, he'll face Alex Keene here, who has 2 hits with Kyle Krupp at first base and 2 out. Adcock will work from the third base side of the rubber. He spins and offers a throw to first. Krupp safe.
Alex Keene is a strong contender for my all mustache team this spring.
First offering, and Keene watches a fastball strike. How would you describe it's this mustache that Keene sports in his headshot?
Yeah, I mean, it looks a little bit Groucho Marxish.
I was going to lean more to the Tom Selleck side.
Yeah, it's got a little of that in
from
it.
From the heyday, swing and a miss on another sinking fastball, and it's 0-2.
It's strong.
Yes, sir. Now Adcock trying to be strong for the Wildcats. Are ahead 0-2 on Keene with Krupp dancing away at first. Now he goes, and that pitch goes right through the hands of Jenkins to the backstop, and Krupp will be safe at second without a throw.
Yeah, I think Owen Jenkins was trying to throw the ball before he caught it that time, and
Krupp got another great jump. It's a straight-up steal of second. We've seen Morehead State get a couple of good jumps against Kentucky's battery today. 1-2, and Keene strikes out swinging on a breaking ball in the turf. He's tagged out by Jenkins in the side retired. So Adcock comes in and does the job.
Good job by Niles Adcock.
We go to the bottom of the fourth at Kentucky Proud Park. Eagles 5, Cats 4 on the UK Sports Network.
The games are back on next Tuesday, February 24th, the 16th on the Western Kentucky University Hilltop Cruise. First pitch is scheduled for 4 p.m. Tickets are available at ticketswalltickets.com or live visiting the ticket office here at Kentucky Proud Park.
Just a year or two ago.
That's right.
And they had a rebuilding year last year, but they're on their way back up. And then Western Kentucky, Coach Reardon has done a great job building that program back up.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job down at Bowling Green with that team.
So here's Jenkins' first pitch, and it's outside. Owen flied to center his first time up. Making his Kentucky Proud Park debut tonight, 1-0. Outside.
I've been impressed with Morehead, the way they swing the bat, the way they run the bases. They're going to be, I think, strong in that OVC this year.
2-0. Hard grounder, one hopper into the glove of Correa, who was set and ready for it, and the shortstop throws out Jenkins.
Nice backhand play.
Now, the other thing, too, when you talk about these midweek games, playing in-state opponents like Morehead State, the deeper this game goes with Morehead State leading, the harder it's going to be for Kentucky, because the Eagles are just going to get more and more confident as you go.
That's right. They start really believing. I mean, it was obvious they believed coming into the game.
Sure.
They believe even more once they keep that lead.
Campbell takes a strike. Campbell popped out to second his first time up. And it was just 2 years ago, the Omaha team for Kentucky, 1-0 off the outside corner. They were down 5-2 for much of the night against Morehead State until they erupted for 7 runs in the 7th inning, and they went on to win 9-5. 2-0. He goes around. It was a strike anyway, 2-1. I'm sorry, the count's 1-2. 1-2 on Campbell, and the pitch to the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, he looks like he overthrew that one a little bit. Got away from him.
Two, and he nearly hit him, and in fact, it brushed his leg, so Campbell's awarded first. And the Cats have the tying run aboard with 1 out.
You know, we talk about the stolen bases, all the stolen bases the Cats had last weekend. They got hit a lot too.
Yeah.
came into this game with a lot of hit by pitches, and they're, they're just not going to get out of the way. They're going to take it for the team.
We have a replay challenge from Morehead State's dugout. Coach Chris Rose wants them to take a look at that HBP. So they will head up the tunnel of the third base dugout to the replay review. Now, for those not familiar, maybe new to college baseball in the SEC, in the non-conference games, it's up to the home team to provide the replay.
Yep.
In SEC play, there is a centralized location in Birmingham. It's a lot more streamlined, a lot easier to not necessarily easier, quicker is the word I was looking for. It's a lot quicker to go through the process. But here in non-conference play, they have to go up the tunnel to the review room, and then they have to go through all the different footage. So I think what Morehead State is challenging here is, did Campbell stick that left knee out forward over the plate?
Yeah. You know what would be fun, Darren? If you know how the weatherman uses those
telestrators?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't the umpire just stay on the field and use the telestrator on the big screen and let the fans see what they do?
Here's what we saw.
Yeah.
Here's why we called it that way.
Put them on the microphone, let everybody know what they're doing. Umpires would love it. The fans would love it.
Oh, I'm sure the umpires would love it. Yeah. All right, here's the call. All right, so the hit by pitch stands, and Morehead State loses the challenge. And Chris Rose is coming out to argue, and this is something you can't do after a replay. You can ask for an explanation, but you can't argue once the replay has concluded. And so Coach Rose.
The fans are letting him know it.
Yeah.
Scott Kennedy is a good umpire. He's a patient umpire. He's going to explain it.
Yeah. And so this discussion continues. Nick Mingione is saying, hey, he's not supposed to be arguing over here, but Scott's still doing most of the talking.
Yeah, he is.
So they break up, and that concludes the latest replay. So our replay challenges so far are 0 for 3 in this game. And the Eagles only have one left. Kentucky's out of challenges. So here's Lawrence with a man on and one out, bottom of the fourth. 5-4, Morehead State leads. Ethan Davis on the rubber. He rocks and fires, runner in motion. Pitch taken outside, throw down to the bag, and safe the call as Campbell dives in and beats the tag from the shortstop Correa. That's Kentucky's first stolen base of the game. So now the tying run at second with one away.
And that's a little surprising, really, considering how many they stole last weekend.
And now time called, and I think Campbell might have gotten shaken up a little bit at second base. Boy, for Kentucky, Coach, I mean, they have some depth coming into the season, but that depth is being challenged. You're without Tyler Bell for whatever extent. Carson Hansen has been coming back, and they're hoping to have him, according to Coach Mingione, what he told us pregame, they're hoping to have Hansen maybe this weekend. It looks like Campbell's okay. He's going to stay in the game to run, but
yeah, Hansen was a guy that they depended on heavily last year and had a good year, and they were counting on him big time, so it'll be good for Coach Mingione to get him back in the lineup.
1 ball, no strikes on Lawrence, and Davis wheels and offers a throw down that bounces away from the shortstop Correa, but Correa turns and looks at Campbell while he chases after the ball, and Campbell just stays on the bag.
That reminds me of in basketball how when the time's running out, they roll the ball down the court.
And you're just watching it. 1 ball and no strikes on Lawrence. And Davis delivers. Lawrence takes high. 2 balls and no strikes. And I guess we should note, for those that may just now be joining us on the broadcast, whether you're watching on SEC Plus or listening on the UK Sports Network across our radio affiliates, we did ask Coach Mingione if there was any update on Tyler Bell during pregame. And here's the 2-0, and that's a strike on Lawrence. And really, the update right now is just that they are continuing to watch and evaluate, gather more, and he is out for the time being. So you still hope the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
2-1. And that's outside. Looked like a really nice breaking ball from Davis.
Well, Tyler Bell is such a huge piece of the puzzle for this Kentucky Wildcat team. He's an outstanding player. He's got a bright future in baseball, so we all wish him the best for sure.
3-1 to Lawrence, and the offering is lifted out of play over the screen behind home. Full count. I was talking to Darren Williams on BBN Radio about the injury to Tyler with the caliber of player that he is, and while it does hurt your lineup, I think it's the ripple effect is larger on defense just because you're having to shuffle now.
That's right. And
take guys and move them around. Here's the 3-2, and it's out of play, third base side. You've had to move Luke from second over to short. You've had to put Hindle at second. And those guys are talented, no doubt, but when you have to start rearranging things, it does affect your defense.
Yeah, and that, shortstop second base combination, it's always good when guys have worked together a lot.
Sure.
And Bell and Lawrence had worked together all year last year.
Another foul ball into the screen by Lawrence. Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to get at, was the chemistry would be the better way to.
Yeah. Tyler Bell has such a great work ethic. He's gonna make a solid recovery just because he's gonna almost will it to happen.
That's right. 3-2, and Lawrence is going to go down to first. I can't tell if they said hit batter or if that's a live ball, but Lawrence is still running. He's to second, and here comes Campbell home, and now they're pointing to first, and I think that's a hit by pitch. The ball went to the backstop so hard from our vantage point up here behind home plate in the press box. I couldn't tell if that hit Luke or if it was just a wild pitch, and the way they sort of let it play out, Kentucky just kept running.
Yeah, Luke Lawrence had us.
And that was a hit by pitch, by the way. Hit him on the right foot.
He almost had me believing that he didn't get hit.
It hit him on the outside of his right foot, it looked like. And now we got a huddle and a pitching change for Morehead State. A lot of offense in this one. We've seen just about everything this early in the season. Kentucky now with 2 on and 1 out as it's back-to-back hit batters. The Eagles will go back to the bullpen. We'll step aside and tell you about the new pitcher who will face Jace Tarnish when we come back on the UK Sports Network. he is on the official lineup card.
Okay.
He is on the lineup card. But I was trying to tell folks a little more about him, and
I can make some stuff up.
he has been omitted.
I'll make some stuff up. He is the grandson of Three Dog Night singer Corey Wells.
Don't worry, I'm not giving up. Jace Tarnish, the batter, with 2 on and 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning, facing the right-hander Wells. And the pitch, Tarnish lifts a foul out of play to the right. Boy, I tell you what, it's just a simple oversight or typo. I will always defend sports information directors as hard as they work.
Oh, man.
He's from Lynchburg, Ohio, talking about Wells. Runners are in motion, swing and a flare down the left side, but the hook's foul. And like you said, Wells is a freshman, 6'1", 195 pounds. He pitched at Lynchburg Clay High School. Campbell, the lead runner, at second. Lawrence at first. And the 0-2 to Tarnish, fouled away. I don't know if you've seen this national story. Speaking of sports information directors, SIDs, and what they're going through right now. But a lot of fans, if they can't hear it on radio, can't get to the ballpark, or can't watch it on TV, they try to follow online through the live stats and running box scores as Tarnish sends a fly ball to center. That's playable for Krupp. He circles back and now to his glove side right coming forward, and he makes the catch in medium center. Tarnish retired, and there's 2 away for Ryan Schwartz. But the stat program that a lot of teams use to send live stat files and season box scores, the trademark or deal or whatever elapsed, and there has not been a replacement. And so now you have one school using this version, another school using that version, and it's not a school issue, it's a larger college baseball issue this year, and it's affecting everybody. First pitch, line drive up the middle, that's snared near second, actually, and Morehead State will make the out at second to retire the side. That one looked like it glanced or it went just over the head of the pitcher Wells, and his second baseman Griffith was there to make the play. Kentucky had 2 on, but weren't able to get one across. And Morehead State carries a 5-4 lead to the 5th inning on the UK Sports Network. In the bat at Kentucky Proud Park. If you're the Wildcats, you don't want to put McCubbin on base or allow him on base.
That's right. This is getting into kind of that crucial part of the game too, Darren, where
swing innings.
Yes.
McCubbin has struck out twice, facing Adcock for the first time, and Niles just misses with a breaking ball. The 1-0. High chop towards third. That's a fair ball played by Cerny near the bag. Throw across the diamond in time, and McCubbin is retired. Brings up Aubrey Kearns, who has a home run and is driven in 3. He's 2 for 2. He'll face Adcock for the first time.
Now stepping to the plate, there is number 2, Aubrey Kearns.
First midweek game of the regular season, and Kearns looks at a strike, 0-1. Whenever we have a chance to talk to Darren Williams on the UK Sports Network, whether it's in-game or the Behind Kentucky Baseball podcast, radio shows, the 0-1, Adcock misses outside. The one thing he always circles back to, the importance of these midweek games, not just for making the NCAA tournament, but these games affect sometimes your ability to host. The 1-1 swing, and he did offer at a pitch in the turf, 1-2. And you remember, Coach, how in 2024 Kentucky took care of business in their midweek games. I think that was a huge part of why they were able to host not only a regional but a super that year and get to Omaha.
That's right. They got the shift on Kearns.
1-2. And he tried to go against it, but sprayed it foul.
He had a notion, just a little late on it.
Adcock breathes a heavy sigh as he rocks and fires. And he popped him up to that third base side. It's a long run for Cerny into foul ground, and he's able to make the catch. What an athletic grab by Cerny, having to stop on a dime to make sure he was under that ball after running from a long way out of the shift where he was almost playing short.
Yeah, he came a long way for that one, and it's so easy to overrun that ball. But he did a great job of, like you said, stopping and making a grab.
Here's Brayton Coomer, who's 0 for 2. More activity now for the Wildcats and their bullpen beyond left field. It's a left-hander getting loose as Coomer looks at an offering low. I believe that might be Will Coleman. There's a strike to Coomer, 1-1. Time called, and Jenkins is starting towards the mound. It looks like Adcock's having an issue with his pitch comm device, so they'll trade out for a new one. Part of this new age baseball, Coach Madison. You guys were using the hand signals, and were you the smoke signals back in the day?
Just about.
Carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
1-1.
Or the coach is yelling, throw strikes.
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes after the foul ball. We kid Coach Madison because we care.
I'm an easy target.
Adcock buries a fastball in the turf, 2-2.
We're always exchanging text messages between each other, and usually I'm depicted as a 1920s minor leaguer or something.
Jenkins frames that fastball in the corner, but it was slightly off. 3-2 on Coomer. Well, you played under Connie Mack, right? Here's the 3-2, and he swings and misses. Jenkins with the tag, and it's a 3-up, 3-down frame for Niles Adcock. Great job there for Adcock. Niall Adcock, beg your pardon. That's 3 up, 3 down. Presented by Lexus of Lexington, the relentless pursuit of perfection. On to the home half of the 5th inning. 5-4 Eagles on the UK Sports Network.
Brown's had some good at-bats in this game. He came into the game hitting 364, and his stroke is looking pretty good in this one, too.
Yeah, Hudson had the base knock to start the rally in the 2nd inning, came around to score on the Van Cleve double. Had a single in the 3rd after nearly getting extra bases in the right field corner, and Wells comes right at him with a breaking ball strike across the knees. First base side of the rubber, he rocks and fires. There's a smash right at the first baseman, Keene, with a leaping spear for the out.
Man, he's squaring it up just about every time he comes to the plate. That's good to see.
That's back-to-back hitters for Kentucky now, Schwartz and Brown, that have shot a laser off the bat right at a Morehead State Eagle. Here's Tyler Cerny with one out in the bottom of the 5th. Morehead State up 5-4. And Cerny gets hit on the left elbow. He'll be aboard. That's 3 hit batters by the Eagles pitchers, along with 3 walks. Kentucky last year was hit by a pitch 151 times.
Wow.
4th nationally. Can you imagine the 3 teams ahead of them? That 151 was a record for a single season in school history. Hindle takes low and out. In the past 3 years, including opening weekend this year, they've been hit over 400 times.
Wow. A lot of bruises.
1-0, swing and a miss. Hindle's walked twice today. Not registered an official at bat. Tying run at first with 1 out. They'll throw to first to keep an eye on Cerny. Kentucky was hit in opening weekend in Greensboro 14 times across 3 games. So 17 now in what's basically 3.5 games into the season. They look like line drives in the box score. 1-1. Checked his swing. Offering was down.
I remember we got hit 7 times in one series against Tennessee, and I thought that was.
You thought they were fighting.
Yeah. And now,
or wanting to.
These Wildcats double that number in a weekend.
The 2-1 low. That's a tough breaking ball from Wells. I mean, that thing was, it looked like it was going to hit Hindle and then just dove across the plate, but it was low. Three-one high, and Hindle works his 3rd walk of the game. So now there's 2 on and 1 out for Van Cleve, who had the 3-run double in the 2nd and a ground out to 3rd. Beg your pardon, ground out to 2nd to end the 3rd. Cats will be on the road at Evansville this weekend, a 3-game series that begins Friday against the Purple Aces. 2 on, 1 out. Wells deals, and Van Cleve takes a strike. Pitch home, upstairs. On our Central Bank SEC scoreboard, Morehead State leading Kentucky 5-4 here in the 5th. Cats with 2 on and 1 out as Van Cleve watches a breaking ball miss away. 2-1.
Wells is struggling with his command a little bit right now, Darren. But I don't see any action in the Morehead bullpen.
It's all on Wells right now. Correa sneaks in behind the runner, Cerny. The 2-1 outside. Around the league right now, number 13 Tennessee leading UNC Asheville at home 6-2 in the top of the 6th inning. Number 4 Mississippi State has a touchdown lead on Troy 7-0 in the top of the 3rd at Duty Noble Field. And Arkansas State leading Ole Miss 3-1 in the top of the 3rd down in Oxford. 3-1 popped up straight back as it drifts out of play. Dropping right in front of us down into the seats below.
Some fan made a nice play on that.
3 balls, 2 strikes now on Van Cleve. Wofford is hosting South Carolina in Spartanburg at Fifth Third Park, and the Terriers have a 1-0 lead on the Gamecocks in the 1st inning. It has been a tough start to the year for Paul Maneri's squad.
A team that needed to get off to a good start.
Yeah. Payoff pitch. Van Cleve sends another one foul and out of play. There was all kinds of madness on opening weekend in college baseball. Missouri lost a series at home to St. Mary's but scored 34 runs in their lone win.
I saw that. That's bizarre.
Now there is activity in the Eagles bullpen as a right-hander begins to throw in earnest. Another 3-2 pitch to Van Cleve here, and instead they'll throw to second, and back safely goes Cerny on a dive.
Outside.
Now they've called a violation. It's a balk, and the runners will advance. I'm sorry, no, it's not a balk. It's a timer violation, and it's an automatic ball 4. So Van Cleve is awarded first. That moves everybody up. So a timer violation on the Eagles has loaded the bases for Kentucky.
And that gets somebody up in the Morehead bullpen.
Yeah, and that's going to spark a visit to the mound, too. So now Kentucky has been awarded a hit by pitch, a walk to Hindle, and Van Cleve gets a walk due to an automatic ball 4.
This is what Morehead State does not want to see with the 1-run lead.
Right, and only 1 out. And you've got a batter in Owen Jenkins who's 0 for 2, but can put the ball in the air, which is what you want right here.
You know, you're talking about the scores, the SEC scores. Outside the league, Michigan State took 2 out of 3 from Louisville this past weekend. And, I know Jake Boss at Michigan State was happy with those results.
And the crazy finish, I forget who they were playing, but the Boston College game where the young man hit the 2-run homer and then broke his leg celebrating as he rounded the bases.
Wow.
Yeah. And the big issue in that game was, well, if he can't come around to score, that run doesn't count. And so
how did he break his leg?
He was celebrating and he jumped up and down and just came down on the word. I mean, just the most freak occurrence. Jenkins watches a strike after the visit. And if you're Googling right now to find the video, don't watch it. It's very graphic. Bases loaded, the 0-1. Jenkins takes in the turf. That evens the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Morehead State leads Kentucky 5-4. Bottom of the 5th inning. Cats with the bases loaded, 1 out. Cerny the lead runner. Hindle at second. Van Cleve at first. The 1-1. Jenkins dribbles a foul ball to the right, and it's 1-2.
Jenkins would love to see something hanging out over the middle part of the plate right now.
And you know Wells is wanting to keep this ball away. The 1-2. Bouncer foul, third base side.
This is a big moment for Morehead State right here.
It's the bottom of the 5th, but this feels like a swing. You're right. A teeter. 1-2. Line shot, base hit, left field. Here comes the tying run, Cerny. Here comes the go-ahead run, Hindle. The throw goes to second, and diving back in front of the tag goes Van Cleve. He's safe, and Kentucky leads 6-4.
You could almost feel that coming, Darren. Owen Jenkins was on every pitch, and then he got one he liked, stroked it right out into left field.
And I don't know how Van Cleve made it back to second, but he did.
I thought he was going to get put out for sure.
Well, here comes Chris Rose, the head coach of the Eagles. This will be a pitching change. And while we have a moment on our radio side, we need to give our affiliates a chance to identify themselves, so we'll step aside. This is a station identification on the UK Sports Network. that snowball begins rolling downhill, how do you help your team slow it down or stop it to get your guys back to the plate?
Well, one things I think of immediately is you really need leadership on the field. There's only so much you can do from the dugout in this defensive situation, but you need that shortstop or that second baseman or third baseman to say, hey, we got this, and mean it.
Scott Campbell, first pitch swinging, fouls one off. And then on the other side for Kentucky, I think if you're the Kentucky hitters, you have the momentum. They're kind of on their heels a bit. Take deep breaths and look for your pitch.
Yeah, exactly. And as coaches develop leadership within the team throughout the year, this is where it counts. This is where it comes up big.
Offering home, Campbell showing bunt, lays it down to the third base side. Charging and fielding is Kearns. He'll easily throw out Campbell, but that moves Van Cleve to third and Jenkins to second with 2 out here in the 5th. Tried to surprise him, but man, Kearns has been on his game, and now we've got the officials, the umpires huddling together. And they are sending Campbell back to the plate. And did they rule this foul? Watching the play develop, I didn't see any immediate gestures.
No, as firmly as that ball was bunted in the infield, I'd be shocked if it was foul.
They've left Van Cleve at third, but they've made Jenkins go back to first. And our 4 umpires are talking this over. And now they are calling Jenkins out at first. It's a double.
Was it a baseline issue, or that's what I haven't seen the replay?
Okay, so they are calling Campbell out at first, and Jenkins goes back to second, which was the original play. And as we don't often get direct communication from the field, the only thing I can guess is maybe Kentucky wanted them to look and see about the play at first. It's going to go in the books as an advance of the runners on a bunt attempt by Campbell. And here's Luke Lawrence, and he watches the first pitch outside. They did credit a sacrifice for Campbell on that bunt. 2 out in the inning. 6-5 Kentucky, bottom of the 5th. Lawrence takes outside again, 2-0. Offering down and in. 3 balls, no strikes to Lawrence, who has been on base twice tonight, walked and been hit by a pitch. (3-0). Luke Lawrence shows bunt and then peels away to take ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Tarnish. With 2 out here in the 5th inning.
You know, this is a time of the game and a situation where Morehead State just wants to get back in the dugout without giving up another run.
Pitch home is high.
Because it feels like a double or a big hit by Kentucky might break this game wide open.
And Kentucky's hitters are disciplined. If you lose the zone, they're just going to stand there. Here's a swing and a grounder, foul, 1-1. That's the thing that has really carried this offense, is how I always call it being aggressively patient. And Tarnish watches a strike as they snuck that one by.
Well, you haven't seen very many Kentucky players or Morehead State players swing at bad pitches. You know, they've all been fairly disciplined at the plate today.
Mm-hmm. Bases loaded, and the 1-2 popped up, curling foul to the right, and out of play. Bases loaded for the Cats. Van Cleve at third, Jenkins at second. Lawrence, the runner at first, with 2 away for Tarnish, who's 0 for 2 in this game. Was on base in the 3rd inning after getting bruised. He works behind in the count, 1-2. The pitch way outside, and a run-saving grab by Sheridan to his bare hand right. Pitch home, upstairs, and now the count's 3-2. Big spot here for Tarnish and Hayes. The payoff pitch, grounded up the third base line, foul. Van Cleve had to skip over the top of that one as it screamed along the turf. And the thing is, with 2 outs, Kentucky's runners are free to get as big of a jump as they want if Tarnish able to get this one through the infield for a base knock. Payoff, high fly ball, left field. Circling for it is McCubbin. He's under it now and makes the catch to end the frame. Kentucky grabs 2 on a single by Jenkins. Had the opportunity for more, but Morehead State able to make the pitches and the plays to get out of it. We've played 5 at Kentucky Proud Park with the Cats on top, 6-5. This is the UK Sports Network. To set up a free account today. Darren Hedrick and Keith Madison with you. Billy Rutledge, our producer, as we simulcast tonight on the UK Sports Network and SEC Plus. Bottom of the order due up for Morehead State against Niall Adcock. And the first pitch to Gurman. Adcock misses outside with a fastball. On our Central Bank SEC scoreboard, some of the Central Time games are starting to get underway. The 1-0, swing and a miss. Vanderbilt hosts Eastern Michigan tonight. Number 3, Texas at home against Lamar. Later tonight, Florida Atlantic down in Boca Raton hosts Missouri. Here's a swing, fly ball lined into right center. That'll splash down for a base hit. And a leadoff single for Gurman, his first hit of the night. And as Morehead State has done all night, when Kentucky has scored to tie it or take the lead, the Eagles have punched right back. It's a 6-5 Kentucky lead, but the Eagles have the tying run on with nobody out. Florida visits Stetson tonight. Texas A&M at home against Corpus Christi. And what should be a fun game down on the Plains, Auburn hosts Cincinnati tonight. Here's Correa, who's got a home run. And he takes under the hands a called strike, 0-1. Adcock from the stretch delivers. Correa watches strike 2 on that outer half. The SEC looks just as tough as ever this year. LSU is an early favorite, defending national champion. But, I mean, how many years in a row has Arkansas won 20 games in league play? I think it's 3 or 4 in a row.
It's incredible. That's such a huge statistic to even think about.
Right? When you play 30 games
in this league.
The 0-2. Lifted in the air.
Left
field, long run in for Campbell. He'll have to play it on a hop. And the Wildcats, a little miscommunication, throw to third, and they got him. There's a little miscommunication in the outfield, but the Wildcats rallied to get the out at third on the diving Davis Gurman, but the Morehead State Eagles immediately challenged the call. And watching it live from up here in the radio booth, it looked awfully close. So
it was
see.
Close. Gurman made a courageous move there, trying to take third on that play,
and it's going to be awfully close on where his hand was in relation to the tag on the body. And
he might be in there.
It depends. Yeah, he may be in there. He was tagged.
What do you think, Big
towards
D?
the top of his helmet, and that left hand may have already been in there, but our home plate umpire had a better look at it than me or the camera angle we're getting, so we'll see.
This is again a huge moment for Morehead.
It was a soft liner with the left fielder Campbell playing deep, and it dropped in between him and Lawrence, and Gurman, being aggressive around second, tried for third, and the call on the field is out.
And Darren Campbell had that ball get by him earlier, so he played this one really cautiously and approached it a little slower than he usually would have, and that's why Gurman tried to challenge him and take that extra base.
So, but there again, credit to Morehead State. Every time tonight that Kentucky has had an answer, whether it was to take the lead or tie the game, the Eagles have struck right back with an inning to take the advantage. Now, what I'm wondering about on the close-up replay, they're showing on the overhead, or not the overhead, the giant video board, did he tag the hand as he was going to tag the body?
It looks like the glove is very close to his fingers, and if that's the case, he's out, but if not, he's probably safe.
And the other issue Morehead State has right now, there's limited camera angles, and the call was out on the field. And by the way, we're 0 for 3 on challenges tonight. Kentucky was 0 for 2, Morehead State's 0 for 1.
It was a gutsy play by Gurman to take that extra base in that situation. But
certainly.
He had a perfect view of the left fielder. And
Morehead State has out-hit Kentucky 8-5. They're looking for the tying run to be at third with nobody out. They need a run to tie it and 2 to take the lead.
The play was right in front of the base runner Gurman, so he knew what he was into.
Nick Griffith is the next man up. They are taking a long look at this.
And they may be looking at the same thing you were talking about, Darren, whether it tipped his fingers or not as he was sliding into the base.
Now they're zooming in, showing a different angle, this one more from the first base side. And did that glove and hand connect? Boy, it certainly looked like it could have. That there's a chance, but Coach Mingione right now is warning his defense about the potential for a bunt, whether this is overturned or not.
Here come the umpires.
This is a big call here. They point to third, out. I think the tipping point was whether or not they couldn't tell affirmatively if that glove hit the hand or not. And when there's not enough conclusive evidence, you go with the call in the field.
Yep.
And so the call, whether it's confirmed or stands, it was made out on the field, and it's out after replay. So if you're a Kentucky fan, you breathe a sigh, and if you're Morehead State, you're frustrated with it. I understand.
Absolutely.
Here's Nick Griffith. Man at first, one out. And the pitch home. Griffith sends a dribbler that hits off Adcock's glove to the shortstop, and the throw not in time. If they let that ball go, it's a tailor-made double play, but Adcock trying to make the play, it glanced off his glove and takes away an opportunity for the Cats to get an out anywhere.
Yeah, that's just a reaction play by the pitcher, and you're right, Darren. If he lets that go, it's a double play. And even if he catches the ball on the mound, it's not going to be a double play because he's probably too far off the mound.
So now here's Kyle Krupp with a chance to tie the game, and he looks at a strike. Krupp is 0 for 2 with a walk. So Morehead State has strung together 3 straight singles off of Adcock here in the 6th inning, but they were called out at third base trying to be aggressive. Here's the 0-1, and that's high. So a double play could still get Kentucky out of this 6th inning with the lead, but Morehead State, they have battled all night long and have come up with hits in big spots. The 1-1 called a strike as he brushes a fastball along that inside corner.
Been a lot of close defensive plays in this game.
The 1-2. Ground ball right side. That's a base hit, and rounding third to tie the game comes Correa. The throw is cut off, or goes home rather. They let it go home, but Correa's already across, and the tying run goes to third. That might have been a mistake by the Kentucky infield there to not cut that ball off, because now the tying run's at third with 1 out. I'm sorry, the go-ahead run's at third. The tying run scored. And here's Nick Mingione out of the dugout. So a pitching change coming for Kentucky. 4 straight batters reach on base hits for Morehead State here in the 6th inning, and they've got a chance to retake the lead with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. Tied at 6, we'll step aside for this pitching change here on the UK Sports Network. walk. He scored 2 runs, and he's flied to left. Cats could use a double play here to try and get out of this inning as Hunter goes to work. Right-hander from the third base side rocks and fires, and he starts him with a strike. Tristan, 6'2", 185 pounds, right-handed sophomore out of Forsyth, Missouri. He appeared for an inning and a third over the weekend at Greensboro, gave up a run on 2 hits, struck out 3. The 0-1, and he misses up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Six game. And the 1-1. Low. Tried the off speed that time. A lot of offense and pitching changes.
Yeah.
As we have rotated through this game. The 2-1 fouled away, 2-2. 12 runs, 15 hits through the first 5 innings plus.
Well, Caden Sheridan took an aggressive cut on that pitch.
Well, it's an even count, 2-2. Go ahead run at third base. The pitch. Runners going. The throw down to third base not in time, and that's a steal for Krupp in second. And now there's 2 in scoring position. That's 2 stolen bases for Krupp tonight. And there's still only 1 out. Now the infield forced to play in for Kentucky. 6-6 game in the top of the 6th. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and now Hunter wants a new pitch comp. So Coach Mingione will bring him a new one. Subscribe to the Behind Kentucky Baseball podcast today. It's available for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and the official UK Athletics app. Have some new faces on this year's Kentucky team. Darren Williams and I got to talk to several of them in the fall, and those episodes are available now. Infield in with 1 out. Morehead State trying to retake the lead. 3-2 pitch, runs inside, almost hit him, and that'll load the bases. So that'll allow the infield to go to a more traditional alignment as Alex Keene stands in. He's 2 for 3. Pitch home is sent high in the air to deep right. That's going to be enough to get the run home as Schwartz makes the catch in deep right. Tagging at third, Griffith crosses, and into third base goes Krupp on the tag. It's 7-6 Eagles. Two outs, and now first and third for Ian McCubbin.
This is a big situation here because if you don't get McCubbin, you got Kearns coming up.
That's
and he's
right.
swinging a hot bat.
He certainly is. And Kentucky had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th. Had that opportunity, couldn't quite cash in, and now the Eagles are able to get at least 1 run across. So they've matched Kentucky's 2 for 2. You look at the line score, every time the Wildcats have taken the lead or tied it, the Eagles have answered immediately. And I know that's something that will drive that Kentucky coaching staff crazy because they talk about that.
Yeah.
And they harp on that a ton. 1-0 is a called strike. The one thing you want to do once you score runs and you strike a blow is you want to hang zero on that next inning. And Kentucky has not done that tonight, all 3 times. And it looks like we may have another tech issue.
Without technology, this game might already be over with the reviews and the.
And we've had 4 reviews tonight, but both teams are now out of challenges.
And this is the 3rd malfunction.
So 1 ball, 1 strike on Ian McCubbin. He has Krupp at 3rd, Sheridan at 1st, and the pitch home swung on and missed. 1-2.
Good off-speed pitch. Darren, if you can change speeds, you got a chance. It's all about messing the hitter's timing up.
1-2. Got him swinging to get out of the inning. Jenkins with a quick tag. But Morehead State, credit to the Eagles. They do the damage to strike back and retake the lead. They have wrestled it back from the Cats in this one. 7-6 Eagles as we go to the bottom of the 6th on the UK Sports Network. Walked one and struck out a batter. Eagles have hit both of the home runs in this game. A 2-run shot by Kearns and a solo blast by Jaden Correa, who's 3 for 3 tonight.
He's had a game, hasn't he?
He has. Here's Miller against Schwartz, and the first offering misses in the turf.
And besides the offense, Correa's made a couple of nice plays out there at shortstop as well.
Certainly has. He's been impressive. 1-0, taken low and away. Kentucky offensively, while they've been out hit 10-5, The Cats have been on base a ton. The pitching staff for Morehead State has allowed 6 walks, and they have hit 4 batters. Here's a skied shot. That's easily played for Krupp or Gurman. It'll be Gurman, the right fielder, to make the grab, and there's one away.
Hudson Brown has done a great job at the plate. He's really squared the ball up several times tonight.
He watches an offering outside here.
And I don't want to throw this out too soon. It's early in the season, but he looks better offensively than he did last year.
Ladder high fastball evens the count, 1-1.
It's amazing what a year of experience can do for you.
Morehead State leads 7-6. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 out in the 1-1. Low, 2 balls and a strike.
They've tried to pitch Brown away a lot tonight. It seems like almost every pitch has been away.
2-1 skied, left field. Long run in for McCubbin. Now he's still dancing around with it a little bit and makes the staggered catch. 2 away. Cerny has singled, got a sacrifice RBI. He's also been hit by a pitch. Responsible for 3 runs tonight as he takes upstairs. (1-0) outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
You mentioned it early, Darren, but Kentucky's been very patient at the plate. You know, they're not swinging at bad pitches.
2-0. And Miller misses up, 3 balls, no strikes.
It seems like they've been ahead in a lot of counts.
Yeah. Well, 6 walks. They had 2 in the, or actually 3 last half inning. 3-0. And there's a strike. Full count now, or I beg your pardon, 3-1 hitters count on Cerny as Kentucky bats down a run here in the 6th inning. The pitch. High fly ball hit well into deep left center, and on the run, that's going to be off the wall. Cerny hits for second and stands there with a 2-out double off the wall in left center.
Thought that ball had a chance to get out, but he hit it in the deepest part of the ballpark. Really hit it well, but not quite well enough to get it out of here.
Hit one there in April or May, and you're not.
Yeah, that's right.
You're not going to have to worry about it.
That's right. Yeah, it'll be out of here.
So here's Ethan Hendel now, who's walked 3 times tonight and has scored 2 runs. So Kentucky has the tying run at second with 2 out in the 6th. Miller's ready with the first pitch, and he delivers. And Hendel looks at a fastball strike. Look towards second by Miller, taking his time in the 0-1. Swing and a miss. The 0-2. Check swing on a ball down and away. He didn't go as the Eagles were trying to walk off the field. Somehow held up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cerny at second. The 1-2. Hindle holds up again on a ball in the turf outside. Two. Check swing. And this time they call him out.
Yeah, I thought it was a strike anyway.
Yeah.
It looked like it was right on the corner.
So the inning ends for the Wildcats. They strand the tying run. We go to the 7th with the Eagles still in front 7-6 on the UK Sports Network. Have answered the Cats every time Kentucky has scored to tie it or take the lead. So Susie will take over, and Aubrey Kearns will lead off the 7th. He has swung a red-hot bat tonight against the Wildcats. First pitch swinging. He sends this one into shallow center. Lawrence racing out, and it's going to fall between 3 Wildcats, and the center fielder, Tarnish, is able to collect the ball, and his throw to second not in time. It's a leadoff double for Kearns, who's now a triple away from the cycle as the Eagles just continue to find the soft grass around this Kentucky defense.
Yeah, and a great job by Aubrey Kearns, the way he rounded first base and never thought a second about not taking second. He was reading the play. Instead of assuming the ball was going to be caught, he was aggressive and made it to second. Good base running.
So that'll bring up Brayton Coomer. First pitch as he squares to bunt, and he takes low from Susie. Well, the Eagles have played their offense to perfection. Kentucky has not given them anything tonight. There have been 2 walks and 2 hit batters by the Kentucky staff, but the Eagles have earned this the hard way with stolen bases and timely hits.
That's right.
The 1-0 fouled back. And the bigger difference right now in this game is the Eagles have capitalized on mistakes. You might miss a pitch in the location where you want it, Coach, and the Eagles have made them pay for that.
They have.
The 1-1. Soft dribbler back towards the right of the mound. Susi boots it. This will turn it into a tight play at first. A dive down, and they got him. As Kearns moves over to third, Coomer retired 1-3 as that ball was kicked by Susi and made that a lot more adventurous than it originally looked.
Yeah, he found that in-between hop and just couldn't quite field it cleanly.
That, I feel like, has bitten Kentucky's defense a couple of times tonight. Some of these line drives that have dropped shallow in front of outfielders, or it was a squibber just off the glove, or bouncing off a knee, the infield in against Gurman, and an offering misses down and in. And then you think about the other side of some what-ifs. Kentucky's scalded some balls that were right at some Eagles.
Yeah, that's right.
The 1-0. Breaking ball bends for a strike, 1-1. Morehead State has not led by more than one run in this game. It's been 1-0, 4-3, 5-4, and right now 7-6. Here's a skied shot, foul ground. You almost think about letting it go, and it's out of play anyway, because if you catch that,
yeah,
Kearns tags and scores. But it was out of play anyway, so a moot point. Kentucky has led 3-1. They have led 6-5, and now they trail 7-6.
Well, Morehead's been a scrappy team tonight, Darren. If they play like this, if they play this hard all spring long, it's going to be a good season for the Eagles.
1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3.
That was a good fastball right there by Susi.
And now there are 2 outs with the other hot bat in the lineup, Jaden Correa, strolling to the plate. He has 3 hits tonight, including a home run that led off the 4th inning.
Yeah, Correa's been impressive tonight.
The left side of that Eagles infield have been the offense tonight. Kearns and Correa have combined for 6 of their 11 hits. As Susi misses in tight on Correa.
That one almost hit Correa.
Infield back now with 2 outs, the 1-0, and that's too low. Fastball into turf, 2 balls, no strikes. In the bottom of the 7th, Kentucky will have Van Cleve, Jenkins, and Campbell due up. (2-0) to Correa, swing and a miss.
Good time for an off-speed pitch after coming with a heater out over the plate. Susi has good movement on his fastball. Then when you come back with that off-speed pitch, it makes it tough on the hitter.
2-1. Just off the outside corner. Crowd wanted it, so did the dugout. Not happy about it.
There's some grumpy fans out there right now.
The 3-1 in the turf, and Correa works a walk. And he celebrates that with his teammates as he goes down to first. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Nick Griffith, who's 1 for 3. Well, the third base coach now makes his way up the line. So what kind of play will Morehead State put on here with 2 out? They have first and third.
Yeah, I think Correa runs pretty well, so it could be a straight steal, or they might just let him hit.
Correa has not stolen a base this year, but he certainly has the legs to do it.
Yeah, he's got quick feet and looks like a smart base runner.
Lead runner is Kearns at third base. Men at the corners, 2 out in the 7th. And the pitch by Susi is flared to the right of the infield, a pop fly into the glove of Hindle, and the side retired. So Kentucky works around that leadoff double to get out of the inning. Nice job by Susi. We'll see what they have in store for the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time at Kentucky Proud Park. Eagles leading the Cats 7-6 on the UK Sports Network.
All right, now let's send it down to the top of the dugout.
Tonight is Braxton's first start as a Wildcat.
It's been a good one for him.
The designated hitter. First pitch from Miller, and that misses slightly up. One-0, up and away, ball two. Well, the Kentucky players have a little choreography with Baby Shark. 3-0's a big swing and a miss on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Somehow Miller was able to hide that. 2-1. And he comes right back with the same pitch for strike two.
That fastball had a little giddy up on it.
High heat, 2-2. Too high that time, ball three.
He went 90, 91, and then 92.
And it got a little higher each time.
Yeah.
Payoff pitch. Lifted out of play to the left side. They went back to the fastball a fourth straight time. Three-two. And he got him on the inside corner with a fastball. Van Cleve thought that was off the plate, but he was rung up, and there's one away.
Well, he was working it away and then elevating his fastball a little bit. Then he came right in on the hands, and it froze Braxton Van Cleve.
So one out, two strikeouts now for Miller. Here's Owen Jenkins, who's 1 for 3 with that two-run single, and he waves over a breaking ball for a strike. Miller rocks and fires. Skied in the air, back of home, first base side. Catcher giving it a look and unable to make a clean catch as that one came down just in front of the netting along the backstop.
He had a chance. I don't know if that hit the netting or not. I don't think it did.
I don't think it did either.
He had a chance for it. Ran it a little bit. Well, I tell you, people that haven't experienced catching a pop-up like that, the spin on it, it's a much more difficult skill than people realize.
0-2 to Jenkins, and he waves through a ball that gets away from Sheridan to the first base side, but the catcher runs it down and dispatches of Jenkins. So a strikeout, put out, and there's 2 away in the 7th with Morehead State up 7-6. Scott Campbell Jr., who's 0 for 2. Been on base thanks to a hit by pitch. He swings and sends a bouncer foul up the third base line. Three straight strikeouts for Miller.
With each one, he gets a little more confident.
0-1. Fouled off to the right. Swing and a bouncer wide at third. Oh, 2. Got him swinging with a fastball, and Miller strikes out the side for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 7th. He has K'd 4 Kentucky batters in a row. We go to the 8th. It's Morehead State 7, Kentucky 6 on the UK Sports Network. Darren Hedrick with you alongside Keith Madison at Kentucky Proud Park as Kyle Krupp leads off the inning for the Eagles. Krupp is 1 for 3 with a walk. He has an RBI and 2 stolen bases, and Susie, the big lefty, starts him with a strike. It's 0-1. And as we have doubleheader action tonight on the UK Sports Network with men's basketball coming up, a 9 o'clock tip-off at Rupp. Here's a bouncing ball up the middle for a base hit. Krupp's aboard for a 3rd time tonight. Billy Rutledge has tagged out as our producer to go work men's basketball, and we've got Gavin Allen producing for us. So if you're on the Kentucky side of things, maybe a little change. Gavin will bring the Cats some good luck here in the last 2 innings.
Bring it, Gavin.
Leadoff single for Krupp. Here's Caden Sheridan, who's been aboard 3 times tonight. He's been hit twice and worked a walk. Susie throws to first to check on Krupp. Now, Coach, you and I were talking about this earlier in the evening. A team like Morehead State that came in here locked in, dialed in from the first pitch of the ball game. And Kentucky has not been able to string some zeros on the scoreboard. Swing and a miss by Sheridan. The Eagles have punched back. And as you get into the 8th and 9th innings now, like you say, in terms of that upset, the Eagles smell it, and it's going to be a bigger challenge now for Kentucky to try to rally in this game because the Eagles are trying to add to that lead. They want this ball game. There's a strike. It's 0-2.
Yeah, and you know, Morehead State has an opportunity to really grow as a team, and
That's
so
right.
does Kentucky. If
Right.
they come back and win this game, then it helps them grow and become more confident when they get in situations like this again.
The 0-2 pitch misses slightly down and in. Morehead State has not beaten Kentucky in baseball since 2014. The 1-2 fouled back. A 12-year run. The last win for the Eagles was April 8th, 2014 at the old Cliff Hagan Stadium when they beat the Cats 6-4. 1-2. In the air to center field. Tarnish moving glove side left and now back diagonally a couple of steps. He runs it down towards the gap, and there's one away. Sheridan retired for just the second time tonight. And here's Alex Keene, who's 2 for 3. The Eagles have out-hit Kentucky 12-6, but the lead is only 1 run, 7-6. And in the bottom of the 8th, the Wildcats will have the top of the order due up. First pitch to Keene is a big swing and miss. Crowd is thinned a little bit here as the sun is set, the temperature's cool, and everybody's trying to get over to Rupp Arena. The 0-1. Good spot on that outside half, but it was off the plate, 1-1. Susi from the first base side kicks and deals. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw down by Jenkins. Bounces right to Lawrence, who's there with the tag. Nice throw by Jenkins. Lawrence with the tag on the hand, and there's 2 out.
Yeah, Jenkins has been impressive with his arm strength. He's everything that his coach Scott Downs has talked about.
So
His
now,
high school coach, I should say.
Yeah. 2 outs now, and the base is empty. It's 1-2. And the pitch. Ground ball to short. That's actually, yeah, that is the shortstop Lawrence. They had the shift on.
Yeah.
And for a moment, I thought it was Cerny. Nope, it's Lawrence who makes the play. And a true throw to first to end the top of the 8th. So the Eagles are turned away after a leadoff single. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the top of the order due up for the Wildcats here on the UK Sports Network. 2 walks and been hit by a pitch. Otherwise 0 for 1. Luke Lawrence is quite the athlete. Also played hockey alongside his baseball career when he was growing up. A 6-foot senior out of Evergreen Park, Illinois. Breaking ball misses up to him as he shows bunt. He and Tyler Bell, who are roommates now, live about 45 minutes apart in the Chicago area. 1-0, called a strike, 1-1.
I like Lawrence's energy on the field. He seems like he really enjoys playing the game.
1-1 missed away. And Kentucky's had a nice pipeline of talent from that Chicago-Milwaukee area. You think about transfers like Lawrence and Carson Hansen. They brought in Ethan Hindle.
Yep.
2-1. Lifted in the air to center, and that's going to be caught as it was hit right at Krupp, who dropped to a knee to make the catch. Krupp was having a tough time judging, is that dropping in front of me? Is it coming right at me? But it's to him on a knee, and there's one away.
Those balls hit right at you like that on a line are hard to read sometimes.
So that'll bring up Jace Tarnish, who's 0 for 3. But then I was thinking about not only the Milwaukee area, but Kentucky's recruited well from the Chicago area. Tyler Bell, they brought in the transfer Lawrence. Ryan Ritter was from the Chicago area. I'm probably leaving out a couple of more. And here's a swing and a pop fly. First base side, foul ground. Catcher Sheridan with his mask off. 2 hands on the snare, and there's 2 away. Nate Harris.
Yes.
Is from the Chicago area.
Chicago over the years has become a great baseball area. A lot of talent to draw from in that area. Way back in my day, I had Jeff Norman from that area, a good hitter, and then over in Joliet, had Kenny Miller's a fantastic shortstop.
Schwartz swings and sends a laser right at the third baseman Kearns, who made the catch. Unbelievable the luck that Kentucky has not had tonight. That's about the 4th laser they've smoked off the bat, and it's been right at an Eagles glove.
Can't hit it much harder than that.
Nope, not a whole lot you can do about that except grin and bear it. We go to the 9th. Morehead stayed up 7-6 against the Cats on the UK Sports Network.
Now I think
Attention fans, pitching change for Kentucky. Now, right here, number 22, Berkeley Bounds.
We get to see Berkeley Bounds here in the 9th inning. Cats have some work to do as they trail Morehead State 7-6. The Eagles looking to beat the Cats for the first time since 2014. And Ian McCubbin will lead off the frame for Morehead State. First pitch missed the mark off speed. It's 1-0. And that one brushes the jersey for an HBP, and there's a man aboard. Kentucky trails by a run, and the Eagles have the leadoff man on base.
Next up for the Eagles, third base number 2, Morehead Kearns.
Looks like we have a pinch runner here, Darren.
Yep. Trying to see the number on that jersey.
It's hard to see with the grays from here, isn't it?
I believe that may be a 7, which would be Jaden Hart. And that is Jaden Hart. Throw to first, and the runner dives back. First pitch, fouled away. Aubrey Kearns, the batter, 3 for 4 tonight. He's a triple shy of the cycle. RBI single in the first. He had a 2-run homer in the third, doubled in the 7th. The leadoff man for Morehead State has been on base in 6 of the last 7 innings. Foul ball, it's 0-2. Eagles have scored in 3 of those 6 innings. Throw to first sends Hart back on a dive.
Aubrey Kearns had a shoulder injury and rehab during the summer. And it looks like he's at full strength.
Certainly has looked that way tonight. Seven to 6 Eagles, top of the 9th inning, 1 on and nobody out. It'll be an 0-2 to Kearns, and it misses low. Another throw to first. They are keeping close watch on Hart, who has not stolen a base, but the season only 3 games young. One, 2, and Kearns takes strike 3 this time. He froze him with a breaking ball.
That was a nice pitch. Right on the knees.
So Bounds gets a strikeout. And there's 1 on with 1 down for Coomer, who's 0 for 4 tonight.
It looked like a slider that they got Aubrey Kearns.
Throw over again on Hart. Bounds from the first base side. They throw over again. Morehead State scored the first run of the ball game in the top of the first off of starter Chase Alderman. It was an RBI single by Kearns to get the scoring started. Kentucky came back in the bottom of the second inning with a 3-run double by Braxton Van Cleve, but that lead and momentum did not last long at all as the Eagles struck back with a 2-run homer and an RBI from Alex Keene in the third to retake the lead 4-3. Kentucky tied it at 4 in the bottom of the third. Swing and a foul tip, throw down to first, not in time. It's 0-1 on Coomer. So tied at 4 after 3 innings. The Eagles took the lead in the 4th inning on a leadoff home run by Jaden Correa. Kentucky struck back with 2 in the 5th inning. A single by Owen Jenkins scored Cerny and Hindle. But then in the top of the 6th, here come the Eagles again with RBIs from Krupp and Keene to lead 7-6. And now the teams have thrown up zeros ever since. We're in the top of the 9th. Keeping a close eye on Hart over there at first. The 0-1 outside.
Yeah, both Bounds and Owens have made pickoff attempts over there, trying to keep him close to that bag.
Hart chased back again.
I meant Jenkins, not Owens. Owen Jenkins.
There you go. Pitch home, offered low, 2 balls and a strike. There is activity in the Kentucky bullpen. A side armor getting loose, right-hander. Two 2-1. There's a strike. Hart, the pinch runner at first, 2-2. And somehow Coomer able to wave that pitch out of the zone. Three balls, 2 strikes. Bounds from the first base side of the rubber. Spins and offers a throw to first. Kentucky's midweek games this year. You've got Morehead State tonight. They have Western Kentucky coming here next Tuesday. And then it's a home with Eastern Kentucky the first week of March. They'll play at Eastern on Tuesday the 3rd and then host Eastern on Wednesday the 4th. Ball State comes to Kentucky Proud Park. Murray State, who was in Omaha last year. The Racers will be here March 24th. Miami of Ohio at the end of March. And then, of course, the home date with Louisville. They'll play at Louisville on April 21st. And then the last midweek game is the last week of the regular season when they host Northern Kentucky. It's mid-May. Payoff pitch, runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down by Jenkins, and it glances off the glove of Hindle, and Hart is safe.
You were mentioning that those midweek games and home and home with Eastern Kentucky, they have a new coach, Jan Weisberg, former Wildcat player and assistant coach.
And he's brought some former Wildcats with him to Richmond.
Yes, Troy Squires, Logan Salo.
And here's Nick Mingione out to speak with our home plate umpire, Ben Levin. Davis Gurman, the batter, he's 1 for 4. Pitch misses low for a ball.
That's where you want to miss with that breaking ball. If you miss, you want to miss downstairs.
Eagles with a 7-6 lead, top of the ninth. They've got a man at second, 2 outs, and Gurman looks at a strike.
Another nice breaking ball, bounds.
Kentucky's last chance in the bottom of the ninth. It'll be Brown, Cerny, and Hindle, that middle of the order. They've been the toughest outs for Kentucky tonight, the 1-1. And that one squirts through the legs of Jenkins, and it rolls to the left side, and here comes the runner home, and he's going to make it. A stolen base, a wild pitch, 3 bases for Hart in the pinch run, and the Eagles grab an 8-6 lead.
Yeah, Jenkins just lost that ball. It's so easy for a catcher to do. And you have to try to get help from your teammates to let it, to locate that ball for you.
So now the Cats need 2 runs to keep this game alive in the bottom of the ninth. And the 2-1 to Gurman. And that one nearly hits him as he squares the bunt.
The Cats got their work cut out for them, Darren.
3-1 pitch. Called a strike, full count. It was almost shades of Nolan McCarthy in the Super Regional against Oregon State. 3-2s inside, it's ball 4. The only difference is Hart was able to score from second on the wild pitch because the Cats couldn't find the ball. Kentucky scored against Oregon State because the pitcher just didn't cover the dish.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever forget that slide at home plate.
Here comes Dan Roselle out for a visit. Watch BBN Game Day presented by CHI St. Joseph Health all season long for exclusive access and expert analysis of your Kentucky Wildcats. The show airs on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on WLEX here in Lexington. Fans outside the state can also watch on UKSNAllAccess.com or on the Kentucky Wildcats Facebook page.
Coach Roselle's got the entire infield out there on the bump with him.
Jaden Correa, the batter. So Kentucky has surrendered a run here in the ninth inning without yielding a hit to the Eagles. First pitch under the hands, a fastball with authority for a strike from Berkeley Bounds. Eagles have these Eagles have had sharp challenge tonight because they have jumped on every mistake. The 0-1 fouled away. 0-2. This is a team that was locked in when they entered Kentucky Proud Park this afternoon.
No doubt. They have really been competitive, especially offensively.
The 0-2 got him swinging with a fastball and the side retired. But the damage done. A hit batter turns into a stolen base and a 2-base wild pitch that leads to what could be a pivotal run. Kentucky's got 3 outs of life left. We go to the bottom of the ninth. It's Morehead State 8 and Kentucky 6 on the UK Sports Network. Hudson Brown has 2 hits tonight, 2 for 4. He's also lined out sharply to first, and he's flied to left.
Well, the Wildcats need base runners.
Yes, they do. If they're going to come back in this one, first pitch. And Miller starts him with a strike. Miller has been almost untouchable since entering this game. 4 strikeouts, and he has allowed only 1 base runner, a double by Cerny in the 6th inning.
Miller's been impressive.
The 0-1. Strike 2. He's coming right at him with the off speed.
He is.
Hart stays in the game for the Eagles. He now plays center field. Krupp has moved over to left with McCubbin out of the game. 0-2, and that's tall.
Yeah, he left that breaking ball up a little bit. It's fortunate for him that it wasn't a little bit lower and out over the plate.
The 1-2. Outside, he tried to bring it back over. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. And now time called. Oh, and the pitcher licked his fingers, and so they have to have a new baseball. And the umpire at third base reminding him, if you lick your fingers, you have to wipe it off on your jersey. That's part of the policing of making sure there's no residue or anything on the hands of these pitchers, extra grip. You can't even lick your fingers anymore.
Not a sanitary thing to do anyway.
No, I mean, it was always a thing.
Yeah, right.
But then when COVID occurred and they had all these rules post-COVID, that was one of the changes, was you could no longer lick your fingers because we have to keep the saliva off the ball.
Okay. Wow.
And that one is just sort of stuck. 2-2. And Brown takes high and out.
Man, that was close. But you know what, Darren? That was the world we lived in.
Yeah.
During that COVID era.
Get you some Bardol. Payoff pitch. Ball 4 outside, and the tying run will bat.
That was a good at-bat by Hunter Brown, just not trying to do too much, just waiting for his pitch, and he didn't get it, so he took the walk.
And that's going to finish Alex Miller's night.
Speaking of licking your fingers, I once knew a pitcher, I will not call his name, but he would go to his mouth and lick the fingers, but he would lick in between his fingers and wipe, and he would throw a split finger with a little moisture on the ball. and it had some serious movement.
Yeah.
So we called it the spit finger.
The spit finger, I like that. Well, there was a spitball, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really incredible to talk to former pitchers and the creative ways they found of gaining an advantage, whether the grip, licking fingers, whatever it is, wiping,
raising the seams,
wiping
with your thumbnail.
Yeah, I've heard of that one too. Yeah. Or knuckleball pitchers, back when there used to be such a thing, they would just let their nails grow out real long and they'd dig into the hide of the ball. Yes. And that would help them get the push they needed on the release.
Always looking for a little advantage.
Now we've got a side-arming pitcher, Devin Costa, taking over on the mound for the Eagles here. He's 2 scoreless perfect innings on the season.
He's almost a submariner.
Now the thing about this type,
submariner.
Yeah, he is submariner. And the thing about this type of pitching, it does provide a different angle. The ball moves different. It's going to rise to the hitter instead of sink. However, as we have seen from some of the best in baseball, whether it was college or pro, these guys that come from the lower arm slot, if it doesn't break the way they want it to, it's going to go a long, long way.
Yeah, that's why I've always preferred the sidearm delivery as opposed to the submarine, because with the sidearm delivery, you get sinking action.
And that's what Kentucky has with some of their guys.
Yeah, and with the submariner, I mean, you have to keep that ball on the knees.
Yeah. So if you're Kentucky's hitters, you're going to see this angle for the first time tonight, and you have to adjust to it. But at the same time, if it's not what they want, and we got a pitch runner, I'll tell you about him in a minute. If it's not what the pitcher wants, it's going to look like a beach ball to the hitter.
Yeah.
So we got a pinch runner for Hudson Brown, and pinch running at first base for the Wildcats is Cameron Owens, a redshirt freshman out of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. So here's Costa, who will face Cerny. Cerny's got 2 hits tonight. 8-6 Morehead State in the bottom of the ninth. Cerny squares to bunt and takes outside from that Submariner angle.
That was 64. No, wait, 84. 84 or 64? Had to be 84. But you're absolutely right. You know, the Submariner, if he gets that ball up, it flattens out.
Pitch home and showing bunt. He takes a strike at 63 miles an hour, 1-1.
Yeah, I guess I was right at 64. I thought my old eyes were going on me there for a minute. That's hard to stay back on that pitch.
Pitch home, and it's in tight.
He got that one up to 77.
So 2-1 on Cerny. Costa deals up and away, 77, 3-1. Kentucky's dugout getting into it, trying to increase the energy and the pressure. The 3-1. Cerny shows bunt and then takes a strike to bring the count full. So now a full count on Cerny. The pitch struck him out swinging with a fastball.
Boy, it's just a different look, and hitters don't see that very often. And then you have you've been seeing 90, 91, 92, and then you see 77 from down under. But that's why Morehead's closing with him. He's a different look.
Here's Ethan Hindle now with a man on and 1 out. Bottom of the ninth. Cats are down 2. And the pitch in tight. One 0. That's on the outer half for a strike. 1-1. Running away from the batter. Hindle has not gotten a hit tonight. He's 0 for 1, but he's walked 3 times and scored twice. 1-1. Lifted out of play to the right. A ball and 2 strikes. So this Submariner, who throws right-handed from the third base side, falling off. He's faced back-to-back righties in Cerny and Hindle, but Van Cleve, a left-handed hitter's due up. The 1-2. And he got him on the inside corner with a floating breaking ball.
Wow. And you know what? The left-handed hitter sees that pitch so much better than a righty does. It's just a matter of being patient and not getting out front of the pitch.
So Van Cleve, the last hope for the Cats here in the ninth. A home run would tie it. They need 2 runs to keep this game going. Runner goes to second. Pitch taken over the inner half of the plate for a strike. That was a fastball middle in.
You wonder how many of these Submariners that the freshman Braxton Van Cleve has ever seen.
Yeah. The 0-1. ripped out of play to the left, and the Cats are down to their final strike as Morehead State tries to pull off a stunner here at Kentucky Proud Park, looking for their first win over the Eagles in 12 years. The 0-2, up and away. The 1-2 coming from Costa, and Van Cleve sends it out of play. Doing his best to keep this game alive. He had a monster hit in the second inning, a 3-run double that put the Cats up 2, a lead they could not sustain. And Morehead State is smelling the upset. With a runner at second, the 1-2 again, and that's outside. He tried to bring it back over the plate. Sheridan, the catcher, did, but it was out, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2, fouled back.
He was right on that one.
Yeah, Van Cleve's up here battling.
The more pitches he sees, the better that timing is going to get.
You've got Owen Jenkins waiting in the on-deck circle should Van Cleve extend this game. The 2-2 from Costa, fouled back. He just missed that off-speed pitch. There's a massive gap between the center and right fielders. If Van Cleve could shoot this right back up the box. No wind to speak of. The 2-2. Shot foul, third base side. That was a fastball.
Van Cleve's putting together a good at-bat right here. But the young submariner keeps battling out there.
He does. So far, he's been able to avoid the sweet spot. The 2-2 popped out of play behind home. What a terrific battle here between Van Cleve and Costa. And Costa's got to take his glove off, adjust his cap, wipe away some sweat, and try and figure out the pitch that could seal the win for the Eagles. Van Cleve trying to help rally the Wildcats here, down 8-6 in the bottom of the ninth with 2 out and a man at second. The 2-2 just missed outside, full count. A walk would bring up the winning run for the Wildcats. The 3-2. Skied a mile high in the air, and this should do it. The second baseman Griffith over into the shortstop area. He makes the catch, and the Eagles have pulled off the upset. A stunner at Kentucky Proud Park in the home opener for the Wildcats as the Eagles get their first win over Kentucky baseball since 2014.
And they are fired up on the middle of the infield.
The Eagles poured out of the dugout in celebration, and Morehead State pulls off the 2-run upset of the 18th ranked Wildcats here tonight in Lexington. The Eagles are now 3-1 on the season. Kentucky falls to 3-1. Morehead State victorious here tonight at Kentucky Proud Park. We appreciate all of you who have joined us tonight on the SEC Plus stream. For those listening on the UK Sports Network, when we come back, it'll be Wildcat Wrap-Up to talk about and break down how this one transpired. Your final score, Morehead State 8, Kentucky 6 on the UK Sports Network.
The Kentucky office of Highway Safety reminds you, Morehead City,